What up, drinking buddies? We have an awesome show in store for you tonight. Before we get into it, just a quick word from the people that make this shit happen. The people that help me pay for all the alcohol in my bar tabs, and the people that, help keep me inebriated. First and foremost, we are brought to you by Laughable. Laughable is the #1 comedy podcast app on iOS. Not only can you subscribe to your favorite shows like us, you can subscribe to your favorite artists, get recommendations on new shows, hear every appearance that your favorite artists make on other people's shows, and you can buy tickets to shows in the app now. It's coming real soon for Android guys, so go to www.laughable.com and get on the waiting list for Android. But for iOS users, go to the App Store, download it now. Also, this week's episode is brought to you by Ghost Tequila. Nothing starts the night off right like taking a shot of Ghost. It just gets you in the right mood to party. Ghost Tequila is a 100% agave Blanco tequila infused with fucking ghost peppers. Oh, it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. If you aren't lucky enough to live in one of the few states that currently carries Ghost, be sure to go to www.ghosttequila.com and order your bottle today. They also have some sick merch. Rock the trucker hat like I'm rocking all the time. This week's episode is the return of Tim Woodman, the Pro Villain. And as promised on his previous appearance, he brought with him Cupcake Sinclair. Cupcake is a pro sub and does some of the craziest shit I have ever heard in her play. I was fucking speechless. Fucking speechless. And if you're a regular listener, you know that doesn't happen often. So pop your favorite bottle, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, guys. Bleeding only.
Indeed. No unauthorized.
Right. I didn't buy the fucking tarp.
Right.
I fucked up.
You asked me, do I need a tarp? I told you there's a splash zone. You should be recording this already.
Oh, we are.
Oh, good.
We are indeed recording this.
He's like, gotcha.
I had limited time to run my errands. It was wine or tarp.
Yeah.
Well,
between the two. Without the wine, you still wouldn't have needed the tarp. So.
Yeah. No, we have Cupcake drinking the Juber Manischewitz.
The Juber Manischewitz. Yeah.
Manischewitz.
You sure it's not just Welch's?
Welch's Concord grape.
With
bourbon.
like a tiny dose of vodka.
Bourbon is my kryptonite. Bourbon is, I do not do that anymore. I have learned harsh lessons about consuming bourbon, which is that this villain should not do that. I know it's kind of a classically villain drink.
It is. It is.
Not for this one.
Thankfully, Ghost Tequila provided us with a bottle this evening.
Yay, Ghost.
Woo. There we go.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Cupcake is cheersing with the whole bottle.
Bang! I gotta...
My glass is superior to y'all, so that's all I'm saying.
If shit goes wrong, your glass can double as a weapon.
Yeah. Exactly.
I really hope I don't get beaten to death with a bottle of Manischewitz. That is not the way I want to go.
The irony would be lost on no one.
Sadly. I'm pretty sure I'd be a shoo-in for the AVN, though, at post-mortem.
Yeah, post-mortem, you would certainly win. All you have to do to win an award is die. Fake your own death. And then when you come out later saying, I was only kidding, they take the award back. It's like, we only gave this to you because you were dead.
Oh, Lord.
Nah, pass on that. I got to be alive to accept it. Because I want to drill it and turn it into a shot glass.
There you go. Or a bong, whatever.
I don't smoke, so...
Me neither, but I'd still turn it into one.
If you have the opportunity, then you have to utilize it.
This is true. Though I'm sure I can make friends just passing it around.
Sure. But somehow the idea of winning an AVN award and turning it into something else that you won't use, that just appeals to me. Like, I don't smoke, so the bong would be useless, but I want to turn it into something else that I still won't use.
Definitely two things you won't use.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like, AVN, bong,
Whatever.
Holy shit. So, Cupcake, When Tim was on here last time, we're going to dive right into it. He showed us a clip of you getting your breasts nailed to, what was it, a horse?
Like a
wooden horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said that was your idea. How did this come about?
I get bored.
Hence why we needed the tarp.
Yeah.
Just in case you get bored on the show.
Yeah. No, that's always my short, quirky answer. But we were talking a while ago, and we were just kind of being flirty. And he always has like these theoretical like scenarios. You know, when you're sexting, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And I took him seriously in real life because that's Cupcake, and you fantasize about something, then you have to make it a reality. And that's what I did.
Y'all sexting way different than mine.
Yeah, no, well...
Well, I had to convince
Almost
him a little
always.
too.
I'm going to a little bit disclose here. Every now and then I'll get a text at a random, usually late hour. Something along the effects of, Daddy, will you say something mean? Say something mean to me.
He's like, oh shit, okay.
Like, ooh, this is my chance to get her off from like 30 miles away with my fingers.
That's quite a talent.
Well, you gotta do what you can do in this life. And I don't know where it popped out of my mind, but I was like, she must have said something about being squirmy. And I said, well, how would you feel if I nailed your tits to a table and let my friends take turns on your ass for a while? And she writes back in all caps, oh my God, we have to shoot that.
Because that's the fun of being in porn and being fetishist, right?
Definitely.
That's when you know you have something special.
No, 100%. The fucking... just every time I'm around fetishists, I'm just like, I'm so vanilla. I'm so vanilla.
Hey, vanilla's a flavor.
Yes, exactly.
Is an obscure orchid that only grows in one part of South America, and it's the only orchid you can eat.
Yeah, but they make a
make
lot
fun
of
of
fake vanilla.
Oh, sure.
Hey, we were trying to give you some credit, man.
Take the compliment.
Nah, wouldn't be my style.
So, Cupcake has one-upped like 8 times since then.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about the one-upping. What have you done?
I don't really know what's considered one-upping anymore. It's kind of all on the same plateau, honestly. So there's this party in LA I perform for. It's called Club Anarchy, and it's literally the only dungeon party in Los Angeles that will let me do the crazy shit that I do. And so every month I tell the host, hey, I've got this idea. And she's like, let me clear it with the owner, but I'm down. And that's literally how all of our conversations go. She doesn't even like really ask much anymore. She's just like, okay, if we're not setting anything on fire and no one's literally dying, I'm typically good. We just have to clear it with the host. I'm like, cool. So for these anarchy performances, I've had my lips sewn shut. I have done hook pulls. I have done breast skewers. I have done cheek skewers. I have been whipped. I have been suspended.
You can spend like an hour on it.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that one? What did you say?
I get very bored.
Hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Hell, I feel like suspension is actually kind of mundane these days. I mean, not actually doing it, but like enough people do it that it's no one's going to really bat an eye like, oh my God, suspension. But having your lips sewn shut, that's a new one.
That's a pretty short list, right?
I've
Yeah.
done rope suspensions and I've done hook suspensions. So it kind of alternates back and forth because once you start adding enough shit, that's when it gets weird. You can keep building on the same ideas and make it weird.
And that's the goal, just to make it weird.
Creative license.
Hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
You wrote something amazingly poetic. I read your Tumblr. I don't know if you know this, but I read your
that's so
Tumblr.
sweet.
And you wrote something amazingly poetic about embracing pain. And I don't remember exactly what you said, but it really, I'm like,
either.
that's her. That's exactly Cupcake. Is like you can flinch from it or deny it, or you can embrace it and push through it, and you're constantly breaking boundaries of what you can physically take. And it was amazing. I don't have it in front of me, but it was
I'm sure I could pull it up.
probably.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, no, that's always my like running joke. It's like, yeah, I'll scream and cry like a little bitch. I got my ears pierced recently and I was like crying for 30 minutes and everybody's like, but you've done crazy shit. And I'm like, hey, that's not the point. I followed through and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you cried for a long time with those other things too. So
you know, it's not about the crying and the sobbing and shit. It's just
that you
pushing
do it.
through. Was it on my professional one or my other one?
I don't.
I pulled up the pro one.
I follow both of them, so and
They're
you tend
so
to repost. All right, let
I
me
don't
see what
think I
let me
really
see if I can
post
find
any
it.
sappy stuff on my professional one. No one wants to read that shit.
Oh, obviously someone does. He's talking about it to a radio show.
All right, let's see if I can.
He's my
find
mentor there. I don't think that really counts much.
I'm
Are you saying the pro villain does not count? That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up. He definitely counts.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
I even offered to like virtually wingman like whiskey selections today for him over Twitter.
Yeah. That was funny too. Hold on, let me see if I can find her.
It was a legitimate offer. You know? A fine young lady wanted to drink some whiskey. I'm like, I was trying to help him out. It's kind of my thing.
I'll find it. Let's keep talking.
I asked 4 questions and Tim's like, nope, never mind. I'm just going to keep beating her.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. We have to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
I
it
haven't even
later.
talked about this. This is a new and interesting thing. I'll probably talk more off mic about because I don't know where it's going yet. Polyamory is the short answer.
So, how'd you find out she likes to be beaten?
Well, that's how I met her.
Oh,
Yeah.
class or...
At a party.
Where was my invite, sir? What the hell?
It wasn't my party.
You don't get a +1?
I do. You weren't that.
Oh, damn.
I would not ask you to shave the beard, and I kind of,
Well, I mean, it is December 1st. Traditionally, people shave on, for the end of November or whatever.
No shave November.
Yeah, I'm not going to, but
yeah, no.
traditionally, okay, I understand not being your +1. I could have.
Vegas, we'll do something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to find a way to get there. I'm not sure because nobody nominates villains for things. There isn't a best bad guy at the AVNs.
Goodness.
They've got, I think there's some hokey male dom thing, but there's 3 guys that are always going to win that, and I ain't none of those 3 guys.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I go, like, if I made enough money that year, I'll treat myself and just go to Vegas to hang out and expect that I won't get any work done and have a good time. But this year has been a lot of expenses and not that much income.
Ugh. So buy some clips right now, people.
Finance this
Yes.
Vegas destruction.
Help the villain get to Vegas.
Right. The villain needs to get to Vegas. It's where villains belong.
Well, there's a good
Exactly.
chance that if I do, I'll be sharing a hotel room with yonder Cupcake over there,
I
and then
keep
we'll
offering this
film
with the
some
cops.
evil stuff happening.
Yeah.
In all probability,
Nice.
and not film some other evil stuff.
Right. Just be in the moment for some other evil stuff.
Sometimes.
I will be there, drunk, probably in the media room. Last year, I set up the board, took over the bar in the media room, just put a bottle down, and just grabbed people as they came in.
Just never left.
Just never left. Folks from AVN, I'm like, you want a drink? I'm not leaving. So you can have some bourbon, but I'm not leaving.
That's how you stay, though, right?
Damn right. Hell, we did 9 shows at AVN last year.
Nice.
This year, I'm not going to be as crazy about it.
Well,
This year, I'm going to do small format, like 15 minutes in, out, just edit it down to like maybe 2 shows. I got some feedback last year where people were like, is AVN fucking over yet? It's been 9 weeks of AVN content.
that's a good point.
Seriously, we don't want to hear anything else about the goddamn show. So I think I'm going to do what I did for LA Podfest, where I'm going to just ask people their favorite drunk story, or I'm going to ask them their favorite like inebriated AVN story. Get that out of them, get them out. Just nice, quick. So let's kick off that tradition. What do you have to share with the class?
AVN specific?
Let's do
I got
AVN.
AVN specific story, and I think at this moment it is my favorite AVN story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this girl I just met only a couple of weeks before, Cupcake. That's her. Was also going to AVN. We were different, not staying at the same place or anything. And we'd met, and I'd like been a guest on her webcam show one time, and there was definitely some chemistry there. But there, in that early
I
thing,
stalked you on Tumblr for a while.
I found out later she'd been stalking me for months on like Twitter and Tumblr and shit.
These things happen.
But you don't, when you're with a coworker, there's often a hint of chemistry, but you have to approach it very cautiously because there are professional lines, even in our weird profession.
Definitely.
And you don't want to be somebody who still gets nominated for awards, even though he's clearly a Chester the Molester. Not naming any names.
Oh,
But so I'm like, this is really interesting. I don't want to overstep my bounds or anything like that. So, but we were there, and I had a really nice room. I'd sprung for a room at the Hard Rock just because I'm like, fuck it, I want to do it right this year. And I had Wi-Fi and I had a good camera, so I said, hey, Cupcake, how about you meet me at, I don't remember what time in the evening, come up to my place and we'll do a cam show. And as usual, we made like $6 on the cam show. We made no fucking money. But we were having a great old time. And then the show ended and she clearly didn't want to leave the room yet. So we had ourselves, and I got to be honest, I think this is the only, or was at least the very first time that I got romantically involved with a coworker. And it was really special. And I've been very fond of her ever since.
Oh, I know. That's how she got here. You were just
realize
you were gushing about her last time you were on.
I did not realize I was literally going to nail her to a piece of furniture. I had a great time doing that too. I just didn't know what was going to happen.
Sometimes fantasies do come true.
I guess.
Cupcake, do you have a crazy AVN story?
I just stole it.
Yeah, you kind of stole it, man. Gee, you just stole all my lightning and thunder.
That's not cool. Well, it was cool, but...
Yeah, crazy AVN. It's funny because I'm part of the layer group, the fetish part for AVN, so we have like the Sanctuary sponsored part up there and stuff, and they're always like, yeah, if somebody wants to do performances, and I'm like, all of the performances I want to do probably won't be allowed here, so I'm bored and I don't want to because that's my ego. I'm like, if I can't do what I want to do, I'm not going to do it, so... Yeah.
But we did a thing last year or the year before. We did a live thing.
Yeah, last year we got to do a little bondage boot worship stuff.
And I think there was a single tail across the ass at some point in there.
Yeah. And somebody came up gushing about how talented Mr. Woodman was with his whips and stuff.
Whatever. Oh yeah, I forgot.
I remember her.
Somebody got like a fangirl.
She followed you on
jumped in my
Twitter
face.
afterwards.
I don't even remember who that was now.
Hey,
How lame am I?
nothing wrong with that shit. It's good to have fans.
It's good to have fans.
You're good at what you do. You're good at the villainy.
I am.
It's about time someone appreciates it.
I can't quite pull the full Wolverine statement because I don't believe I am the best at what I do, although what I do isn't very nice. So I got half of it. I'm not the best villain there ever was. I'm good at it. Mm-hmm. I'm very lucky with the people who seem to be willing to work with me.
Hey, that's fucking awesome. Hopefully this year we'll have some new crazy stories.
And Cupcake has pushed me beyond most of the boundaries I thought I had, to be perfectly honest. She keeps challenging me to do shit.
He never responded.
She keeps challenging me to do shit. I'm like, I don't know how to do that thing that you
So what are you challenging him to do currently?
Oh, Lord. I had a whole list of things that I wanted to do. And I was like, hey, I don't want to push your boundaries, but here's some ideas. Let me bullet point them for you. You don't have to do much. You know, we'll just do these things. And he's like, let me think about it. And I was like, oh, shit. Sorry.
Details. Juicy details.
You still have the DM.
Very politely. Yeah, was it on Twitter? Or
Yeah, I Twittered
It was on
you,
Twitter.
you.
So I'm like, here's the things I'm totally willing to do, and here's the things that I'm not so sure I'm into. And she's like, very respectfully, why are you not into those? Like, don't do that.
Well, because if we can find the source of the problems, then we can mitigate those factors and then continue onward from there. It's all scientific.
I'm just curious, like,
There we go.
what's beyond the villain's boundaries?
Mostly stuff I'm not good at or don't know how to do. I mean, most of the things I know how to do, I'm good at. But there's like, she's had her lips sewn shut. I don't know how to do that.
Trial and error?
I'm so good at outsourcing, though. Like, I like him for his, like, villainy energy, but I don't expect him to, like, pierce me and all of that
Which
shit
is-
if he's not comfortable with it.
This is what we did with the nailing, too, actually.
I
Because
outsourced
after
it.
I was, like, backpedaling like a goldfish in a tank, like, wait, what did I just get myself into? I told her, like, I don't know how to do that. And she, like, by the time I'd finished telling her I don't know how to do that, she whipped up her phone, called a piercing buddy of hers, and said, could you autoclave some industry nails and nail my tits to the board?
Yeah.
So he became the henchman for the shoot. I held it down. He did the actual nailing because he knew what he was doing.
Well, a proper villain has henchmen. There's
need
nothing
henchmen.
wrong with that.
We talked about the villain hierarchy
Yeah.
before. It goes from thug to minion to henchman to villain to criminal mastermind to evil genius.
Yep.
I'm just a villain. There's above me. But I was back, I need some thugs to back me up.
Hopefully in the next couple of years you'll move up to evil genius.
I've had a moment or two. I got a criminal mastermind. You need henchmen for that.
Oh, definitely.
And I had Brittany Amber and Nikki Hunter as my henchmen for something. At that point, you're a criminal fucking mastermind.
Nice.
Very nice.
He reaches for the bottle like, I got to drink to that one.
I got to drink to most things.
So sewing lips shut, I don't know how to do that. And so I just said, well, I'm not as interested in that one. And she's like, well, why not? It's like, I don't know how to do that. And I get that you want me there, and I will hold your hand. I'm good for that. You know I am. And then she's like, barbed wire suspension. I was like, what?
Once again, I can outsource it.
Wait,
I've got
what?
the henchman for you. You're just the villain. There we go. We've got it. See?
Barbed
Outsourcing
wire
is amazing.
okay.
Definitely. Shit. Sign me up to, I don't know, do something during this.
Oh, man.
I don't even know what I do. Just kind of like, I'm here. I'm drinking.
Yep.
Don't let me operate anything. I'll be drunk. I spend most of AVN in a haze.
As it's meant to be, honestly.
I ditch the award show every year. Like that's when I get in the most trouble.
I don't go. I'm at Pink Taco across the street having tequila because they got Don Julio there.
Let's see, where was I during the award show last year? I don't even remember. That's not good. That's not good. Year before, don't remember there either.
I don't go every year. I go if there's a reason to go, and they're usually, like I said, if I made enough money, I'll go, but that's usually not the case.
Yeah, this will be my 9th year in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've gone a total of 4, maybe 3 times. I don't have that much use for it.
I wonder if you started going the year I started going.
Yes, because you said it was your first time there, and you were all lost, and it was huge, and you were hanging out with your cam girlfriends.
Yeah.
That was before Sanctuary took over Lair.
That's true. That's very true. We were back on the main floor. So we've been going for about 4 years now, huh?
Yeah, but I skipped one. I didn't go 1 year. So I
that's
think
true.
I've gone 3 times.
Yeah.
This is not as interesting as some of your conversations, I'm sure.
Oh, it's fine.
Did you do the thing?
When did you think the thing?
Hell, I keep telling myself every year, like, I don't really need to go. And then I end up going.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I just used to get drunk in public. Oh.
Yeah. Well, we all joke it's like the porn prom, and it is.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Because we don't get to see each other except when we're working for the most part.
Exactly.
And so we're all there, and we're bouncing around, and everybody's drunk and or making out and or crying. It's like an 8th grade prom. It's like an 8th grade prom.
Yeah.
Oh, and some of the dresses are actually prom dresses.
From 8th grade, yeah. We all pause for a second. We need to drink. Let's drink some more.
Everybody had a collective flashback.
Oh, like, oh yeah, no, that's actually sadly accurate.
Yeah.
Especially when you watch some girls who need money for like this year's AVN sell their old dresses.
Right.
Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw that at someone's prom.
Yeah.
It does. Hey,
It does.
I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm
There's
just
a will, there's a way, right?
right. Shit, I don't even know where I'm staying yet.
We'll figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Cupcake, how'd you get into like, the sub business?
I was into the lifestyle for BDSM and fetish for a while. I was one of those people. I found resources online. I read everything I could to read about it because my ego is huge and I did not want to be one of those horror stories who first entered the scene and something went terribly wrong. I really like informing myself before I do things, contrary to video bullying.
There's evidence that suggests otherwise.
As evidence would suggest otherwise. So yeah, I've pinpointed the areas of my community. I found places that I thought were safe, and I just started going to parties a lot. And at one particular party, I ran into one of my play partners, and he was actually the submissive for the owner of the dungeon that I was going to very often. And so we would play after business hours, but when there weren't any parties. And after a while, I was going there so often that somebody was like, hey, Cupcake, you know most of the staff there and you're helping out with most of the chores. Why don't you just fucking work here? And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So I just kind of jumped into being a pro sub.
That's fucking awesome. What were you doing before that?
Before that, I was and still am a computer technician. So I bounce between that.
Nice. Like break fix, networking, what sort of stuff?
Mostly just small system repair stuff for different campuses.
Very cool. Once a lifetime ago, I was an A+ certified computer technician. I did that at one point. Yeah.
There you go.
Had A+, did break fix for a number of years, did some networking, did high-speed internet installation in the early 2000s.
Yeah, man, you've got one way over on me. I'm just helping the community college out.
Oh, I found I hated IT. Fucking hate it.
I did beta test a Windows 95 on my brother's 486 computer.
Ooh,
Woo!
damn.
Hey,
Back when solitaire was new and interesting.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Right?
what is this mouse for? What do we do with it?
how do I play Minesweeper?
That Minesweeper hadn't come out yet. Yeah.
Oh, Minesweeper's in Windows
Minesweeper
3.1.
was out. Yeah.
It's in Windows 3.1, man. Don't.
Don't age yourself too much.
Hey, my first computer was a 386 SX16.
TRS 80 with a 5-inch floppy.
You win, sir. You win.
And a cassette drive.
You're the old man. You're the oldest person here. You win. I thought I was old, but I was wrong.
I've aged well, but I've definitely aged.
I have not. It's been a little bit of hard mileage, but whatever.
It's all good.
That's how
We're
you
still
know
here.
you've had fun.
Exactly. Not dead yet.
So I'm trying to think of more. At the top of my head, I'm trying to think of more Cupcake stories, but I keep getting distracted just staring at her.
Okay.
Because she's cute as a button. I don't know
haven't
if
seen
you
each other
see
in a
that through the
while.
microphone, but she's really adorable.
It's been
So what you're saying is I should have positioned you across from me, and then
Because see, with the villain thing, I can see through her dress because I already know what she looks like naked, and I can just see it. So I was like, that is kind of a magic.
and voila.
And she's sexy.
damn guests being distracted by each other.
Goodness.
You're a computer technician, a sub. What else do you do?
So yeah, professional sub. I do primarily fetish porn. Mainstream doesn't like what I do, so that's okay. We're not going to be salty about it. I also do live fetish performances, so parties like Anarchy. I was recently performing at Festival of the Arts Erotica. Sometimes I'll do stuff for DomCon and AVN. So yeah, I do performances for different parties, and then of course you do the typical cam, sexting, phone, Skype stuff and stuff.
Awesome. Awesome. Music, movies, like what do you do when you're, relaxing away from
Relaxing. What is that R word you speak of? It's funny. Usually on my off time, I'm pretty much always editing clips or advertising, and I'll have like a song or movies running in the background.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like off time.
It's funny how that works. I'm always just like, I could be productive. I should be productive. I've got my laptop. Let's do. So yeah.
I do know the pain. I really do. But I try to watch a movie here and there, at least try to relax a little bit. Go to a show. Have you been to any good shows lately?
I can't remember the last time I've been out of my circle. Yeah, sorry, I'm pretty boring. But
No,
you know
she
what's
is
funny
the
that
show.
editing is kind of fun though. I mean, I used to edit back in my vanilla days as well. My vanilla days. I mean, I've got one foot in both. But it's just really fascinating because you can shoot a movie or a porn clip or whatever and have a certain vision, and depending on how you edit it, you can come out with 30 different ways of it presenting itself in the final result. So I'm really fascinated by that, and I like playing around with it. So it's work and play.
That's awesome. Hey, if you love what you do, don't work a day in your life, as the cliche goes.
Exactly.
That's total shit. I work hard every day.
We're feeling it.
I know. It's so hard drinking all this bourbon and talking.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
This damn grape juice.
The grind. The struggle is real.
Oh, I mean, in reality, yeah.
All right, so Cupcake, I'm going to step in as co-host here for a second.
Please,
I'm
please.
so boring compared to her. But to keep myself relevant,
Hey, look, you're the one who introduced me to porn, so you are relevant constantly.
I
You're
don't
my
see
origin
it that
story.
way. I don't
You are
see
my
it that
origin
way.
story.
It's very sweet of you. I think you would have found your way there,
Yeah.
with or without me. Not counting the tits nailed to the wood horse gangbang scene that we did. Do you have a favorite thing that we've shot together?
Oh shit. It's hard because I like everything that we shoot together. You're one of
We
my
shot some
favorite.
great stuff.
You're one of my favorite performers.
I remember when we first shot, and I could tell the first couple of times we met, you were like a giggling mess, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, she's been stalking me, hasn't she? Because you were clearly nervous.
I was fangirling.
We did a
like
chloroform
crazy.
scene. We'd rented a hotel room and actually had a hotel maid's costume. So she was housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Right?
Oh.
And I came in and I chloroformed her and knocked her out and stripped the costume off. And she's supposed to be passed out. And every time I touched her, she'd start laughing.
Oh, no.
Burst into nervous laughter. Cut. I got so many outtakes
Lorelai
of her.
was so frustrated. She was just like, okay.
So many outtakes of her going, sorry, guys, just starting to laugh. It was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Housekeeping was definitely my
That was fun.
favorite.
That was fun.
I was this housekeeper, and he chloroformed and raped me and threatened me with a knife and stuff. There's also this one that we did, the conditioning one. Well, I call it conditioning. I don't know what you title yours.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We were at
Ivy Manor.
at Ivy Manor.
We shot this clip at Ivy Manor, and I was this sub that
Slave
was
had been bad or something.
Yeah, I was the
Needed
sub who had been
retraining.
bad, and now Tim was the one who has to whip me into shape, and so he whips me, and he's super mean and stuff. And
And yet again, she said, "Will you spit in my mouth?" I'm like,
I don't know.
Okay.
If I have to.
I hadn't done this. So many things. You think I've been doing this for a long time, but you're constantly making me do things I've never done before. I'm like, I didn't even know I don't have a bucket list, but there's shit. Oh, I hadn't thought to do that.
Like, just writing it in as you go.
And so I'm like,
Just no.
push her down on her knees and grab her face and open your mouth and then.
And I was like, yeah, he actually did it, because sometimes he gives me the grown-up, well, I'll think about it, which sounds like a grown-up no, and then he did it, and I was like, he really does love me.
That was a fun one. That was cool.
fun.
And I got to use a Patterson whip, which is still, that's on my bucket list.
That was
It's a guy named
beautiful.
Roger Patterson that makes single-tail whips, and they're the best whips on the planet, and I don't own one, and I want one. And they had one there, and I got to use it on her.
Very nice.
And then I
Christmas is coming. Buy me a Patterson single-tail with a wide elk fall.
You've got to put it on your
4 feet.
Amazon wish list. Your Amazon wish list.
They're
is kinda
they're not on
sparse.
Amazon. He
I
hand
know.
makes them.
I know. You have to like.
Yeah,
link
my
the site
Amazon
to
wish
it.
list has like 3 things on it. Because nobody buys me shit, so why do I need a wish list?
So you got to get, your sweetie
I had
to,
kids. Yeah.
to make the wish list and put stuff you want on there.
Besides, you can't get booze on Amazon all that easily.
I know, it's such a pain in the ass. One thing before we move on, I got to know. Does a villain tip housekeeping after he rapes her?
I believe I left dollars on her body. I think I threw some dollars on her body as I left. I don't remember for sure now. I should have.
It's been
You
a
should tip.
while.
Bravo.
Always
Yes,
tip.
always tip.
And we did it was a live thing, but we did a stripper doing a lap dance and getting grabbed and tied down by our customer.
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh no, that was a different. Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
it
this
was
is the
that.
one, remember?
Yes, because you were in a cute, like a stripper cop
Yep,
uniform,
yep.
and this is also her
From
idea,
Anarchy.
entirely her idea. She's
Wait,
like,
do
"Will
you
the scene?"
have both your ears?
She does. We used the prosthetic.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, but that was the scene. I grabbed a prosthetic ear and palmed it, and I whipped a razor blade out of my boot, and I came up to her face, and she's shrieking, and I got a palm full of fake blood, and I pull up this bloody ear stump and throw it down.
It was great.
I just wanted to make sure you had both your ears still.
No. No long-lasting permanent damage. The most I fantasized about is maybe having my pinky finger broken, but I know that's very, very hard to come by, so I'll just wait that one out.
You're not gonna Yakuza it and just take a chunk off?
It's not as fun when it's myself.
They don't grow back.
Well, yeah, but you look like a badass.
I think anybody who's met her knows she's a badass.
I'm convinced.
Right? She's done
But if
shit
she
I
was
can't
missing a pinky, you'd be like, oh, don't fuck with her.
Hey,
that
I'm
means
already
she's got
missing a chunk
connection.
of my thigh, so it's cool.
Yes. And why are we missing a chunk of our thigh?
Okay,
Where'd it go?
Into my belly.
Please elaborate for the audience at home.
So once again, Anarchy. I love Anarchy so much. I cannot stress this enough. Once again, we have different themes based on different pop culture, movies, shows, And so for this particular one, it was Hungry Cannibals or something like that. Some stupid ass bullshit. But we wanted to pretend like, oh, da-da-da and stuff. And so, the host is like, oh, well, we'll have a couple of splashing scenes and da-da-da and stuff like that. And
Real quick, for the audience at home, splashing.
so splashing is when you take certain food items and you squish them against your body and or masturbate with them. Yay!
Yay!
And so, one of my partners at the time that I was talking to, he is a professional body mod type person. He also is very experienced with hook suspensions and so on. And so I just mentioned the theme to him because I'm always trying to brainstorm new and different ideas. And he's like, well, hey, I do body mod. We could do a scarification and flesh peeling. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And I'm vegetarian as hell. So I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm kind of intrigued. Let's talk this out. And so the premise that we came up with was I was Agent Clarice or whatever, and he was Hannibal, and it was supposed to be like our romantic date night after all of the drama. And so he straps me down to a spanking horse, he ties me down, he's got like this chafing dish, he adds some like Himalayan salt and some butter, he's got some candles going, we've got like classical music that I created. I put like a little playlist, and there was like little sound bites from the Hannibal movie over the classical music, and he just puts on his gloves and his hazmat mask, and he just starts slicing into me. And then he puts it in the shaping dish, and then we like take a romantic bite out of it, and that was our performance.
How was it?
A lot chewier than I expected it to be, but it still kind of tasted like pork from what I remember.
Human is supposed to be long pig.
Yeah, that's very true. I heard they were opening up a restaurant in Japan, actually, where people could donate their bodies after they die to this restaurant to have it cooked.
That's so Japanese.
Back to Japan.
So I don't know about you guys, but bucket list.
Well, Tokyo is my happy place.
Oh, nice.
I love Tokyo. So, yeah, I'm totally down to go back to Tokyo and get weird.
That's pretty weird. But yeah, Cupcake's the only person I know who has eaten her own cooked flesh as part of a performance piece.
Honestly, I feel like you're the only person I know who's actually eaten flesh, like human flesh.
Well, you know what's funny? It's kind of common in the body mock community, more or less. So it just kind of depends on, like, what social circle that you're part of. Because when people are doing, like, piercings and they're getting, like, dermal punches for their, like, gauges or whatever, like, it's very common to just
is it really?
pop it in and whatever. But I got the opportunity to cook mine, so I feel a little more elite than everyone.
Well, yeah. It's all about the preparation and
Yep.
the presentation.
Absolutely.
Fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Yep.
But that's liver.
Well, whatever. This is interpretive.
It happens.
So this is Cupcake. This is
No, this is
the standard
everything and more than what was promised.
the standard by which all cakesters are measured and found wanting.
Goodness.
Jesus, like, I don't even know if I'm actually vanilla anymore. I think I'm just, like, neutral. Like, there's no
Gone
flavor.
into negative space.
Goodness. Hey, it's all relative. Like I said, I get bored very easy, and I really enjoy pushing the limits of my body and seeing where I can go, because it's all a manifestation of your own perception. You know what I mean? We have these warning signs, but at the end of the day, I make sure that I interact and engage with people that I know aren't seriously going to harm me. And that's what keeps me pushing, because I know I'm not going to die. Nothing's going to happen. Like, this guy's a professional body mob person. This guy's a professional piercer. This guy's a professional villain. Like, everybody that I play with has the equipment to help if something seriously goes wrong, you know?
And they actually care about you, so if something does go wrong, they're going to get you the help.
Concept.
They're going to get you the help you fucking need.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, when you dial 911, do you have a henchman do it? Because I can't imagine the
Well,
villain.
I can't call. They won't even take my calls anymore. I've been blocked. Not that guy again. Because your getaway plan is you call them from a different location. Send all of your troops that way while I'm going this way.
Right?
Okay.
There's an active shooter over here.
Yeah. I think there were drugs and stuff. So since then, we did another live thing, me and her body piercing friend. And I don't remember, was there a theme to that party? Was it?
Remind me which
Oh, it
one
was The
that was.
Purge.
Yeah, it was for the Purge.
It was themed like the movie The Purge, which I have not seen because I don't
Another
get out of my
anarchy
house
party.
either.
So the first Purge or the sequels?
I don't know.
So about 3 years ago, because the host is able to determine the themes, and so for her birthday every year, she always makes sure it's on the Purge. You know what I mean? So each month that's her birthday, it's the Purge. And so I think a couple years ago it was for the original. Recently it's just been like, okay, well, whatever movie you
All of
choose,
it.
we'll do it.
The sequels aren't so good.
Yeah, that's very true.
So me and my henchman caught this little girl after hours on the night of the Purge, or however the fucking movie goes. I don't know. I was just there because Cupcake asked me to go.
Do you know what the plot of the Purge is?
Essentially, yes. It's that Star Trek episode.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, God.
That one night where there's no rules.
Look
It's
at what
straight
I'm
out of Star
dealing
Trek.
with.
What the fuck? What's wrong with you kids? I know where that comes from.
Okay.
Oh, the mashed ovens is working. You just went oy vey.
Oh,
She always does.
I always do that. I swear I always do that.
So anyway, we catch her, and I tie her up, and I did like a semi-suspension. I had her arms tied behind her back, so she's balanced on her knees. She's not off the ground, but she effectively can't move, and she's like hanging and a little bit spinning. And there's some whipping and some whapping. Cupcake made her own Lucille.
No, I bought it on Amazon.
Oh, you bought it? I thought you made it. She has the Louisville Slugger with the fucking real fucking
Barbed wire.
wrapped
From
around
Walking
it.
Dead. I have my own personal Lucille, and I was actually able to buy it on Amazon, and shortly after, it wasn't available anymore. So I was like, score.
Yeah, they're like, that's not an art
It's a
piece.
fucking felony is what it is.
So I love using that as my quote-unquote warm-up for performances, because
Warm-up.
it's kind of like using a vampire glove, essentially. It's a lot of superficial bleeding, but
A
because
lot
it's...
of superficial bleeding.
Well, I was
just for
getting
the
there.
record.
I was getting there. With vampire gloves, there's a lot of superficial bleeding, but with my Lucille bat, right, if you go to take a couple of swings with it, it looks very intimidating. Obviously, it's made out of barbed wire, so it's not actually puncturing further than the dermal layer, but there is significant bleeding, so the audience is already like, what the fuck's going on? Some shit's going down. Oh my God.
I had no idea how much bleeding that bat. I was like, there's just like a puddle under her. I'm like, whoa. But I'm like, I'm going with it. I'm here.
Right, you're in the moment. You got.
Blood doesn't make me squeamish, thankfully. But I was just like, wow, that's a lot. Okay.
What kind of villain would you be if blood made you squeamish?
A very unfortunate one. Yeah. Some kind of Disney villain at that point.
Or like just a comical mad scientist who's like, you deal with that?
You do it. You do it.
Oh, like
I'm the idea guy.
Samuel L. Jackson's character from The Kingsman.
Oh my god.
It's like, violence makes me squeamish.
Yes.
So then, and we had planned this out ahead of time, her piercing buddy pulls out this full-on barbecue-length metal skewer and top to bottom just shoves it right through her tit. Just bam! And it was not that easy.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of flesh there.
But there's membranes and layers and stuff, and he was like, and I'm holding her by her upper arms behind her, and I can feel through her body the tremors as this thing tries to force its way through her. And she's screaming her head off because she's supposed to.
Right, and there's some trauma involved
and
here.
afterwards, I just kind of giggle.
And I think half the audience was like, "Those are some amazing special effects." And the other half is like, "No, that's Cupcake."
Yeah, the desk person was like, a couple of people came up and was asking if you were okay, and I had to tell them, no, that's just Cupcake. That's what she does.
So that was another. Wow,
Yeah.
did not see that. That was not in my high school. What you're gonna do for a living?
Yeah.
Thing.
Your guidance counselor's like, you're going to drive nails through women's breasts.
Yeah.
Be covered in blood. That isn't yours.
I had to wash a lot of rope that night, but that's, I use cotton. It's good rope for that.
Be prepared.
I'm a rope nerd.
That's, oh, wow.
Where do I go now?
Like, I'm just
Processing.
processing.
And look at her now. She's giggling and gorgeous and just over there smiling and shit. Like, this too was her idea. She's like,
Yeah.
You put a skewer right through my tit? And he did his research. We talked about it beforehand as we're plotting.
Oh, and
like, you can go this way, but there's a vein over there. And he's like very carefully figuring out how to do it.
I was going to say, and what's funny is that I don't know if, because I usually make a group chat between Tim and the piercer and stuff. And so it was funny because apparently the tit nailing that I had done had more of a risk of me having some sort of major incident and hitting a major vein than the actual tit skewer that went through the majority of my tit did. And I was like, wow, well, I'm glad that
it didn't,
That makes sense. Multiple piercings versus just one big one.
Well, no, it's just the veins are on the
side.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so for anatomy, it's like most of the major ones are on the side of it rather than through it because in the middle there's just fatty tissue. And I was like, oh, well, that's great to know.
The more you know.
Right? Little science in every show.
Yeah.
We're not only just a kinky show, we're educational.
My margarita's broken. I gotta fix it.
Gotta fix it. Are we doing a shot of Ghost now?
Ghost tequila.
Ghost.
Good thing we're not filming this one. Otherwise, they would have seen our cheap radio ploy.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Cupcake, would you like to try some Ghost?
And an oy vey
Okay,
from
but
across
thank
the
you. I know my limits.
It is a spicy meatball.
It's some spicy shit for sure.
Cheers, sir. I don't know why I'm mixing whiskey and tequila tonight.
You don't have to drive. You live here.
I have to operate a door.
That could be tricky. Last time I was here, you fucked me up. I was like, I had to stick around for an hour when I can't get in my car yet. I'm barely pronouncing my words right now. I did. We hung out in this kitchen for an hour. I'm mainlining glasses of water. I gotta figure out a way to get all this
How do I
out.
get home now?
It's like, holy shit, you didn't tell me you were going to get me drunk.
I brought the bottle. I'm like, you can keep the leftovers. He's like, dude, there's not gonna be leftovers.
Ghost
It is no joke.
heart limit.
They're not kidding.
Thank you, Ghost Tequila.
Thank you.
My sinuses are now clear.
Damn.
It's a good pain. It really is. It's really good stuff.
It looks intense from over here, and if that's me saying it, be concerned.
That's kind of fucked up. The woman who let a nail be driven through her breast won't do a shot of Ghost.
No, she knows her limits. She's a wise girl.
Both our eyes are watering.
We're over here all crying and shit, and I'm like, nope, that's why I declined. That's cute.
It's not the tequila. I was remembering a childhood trauma. Honest.
Wait.
Crap. Okay then.
Oh my god.
Serious.
Woo.
You guys need some water?
So-
Right.
No, I'm chasing it with whiskey. I'm good.
Okay, all right.
So what's funny? I think I mentioned I'm very much polyamorous by nature, and my girlfriend has at the moment 2 other pretty serious boyfriends. And one of them is super intense. Like, he and Cupcake get into like this competition because he's got brandings all over his arms and tattoos everywhere, and he's had like his nuts inflated with saline and some pretty seriously intense
Why would you
shit.
do that?
I didn't.
No, but I mean, why would anyone do that?
I would do that.
Those are precious.
He's like a guy version of me. The only difference is I don't do genital stuff. So that's the only way he went up to me. But every time I see him, I'm like, hey, so what'd you do recently? Because I got a brand. I did this. I did that. And we'll just have like this face down from like the last time we saw each other.
It's really adorable. But she totally beat him on the whole, I've eaten my own leg flesh. He's like, all right, you win.
So the next time she sees him.
And I think he's done hook suspensions too. And
I
stuff.
mentioned because yes, he's done a hook suspension. I mentioned because he's taken ghost pepper sauce up his urethra.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
In fact, for his, I think his 50th, he just turned, I think 50 or 55. He put ghost pepper up his ass, in his dick, and up his nose,
He was,
and
like,
then went
snorting it
running
for a
through Death
while.
Valley for an hour at 120 degree weather. I'm like, what is the fucking matter with you?
Something is misfiring in his brain.
Get a video game. Get something else.
Seriously,
Yeah.
they use ghost peppers to stop elephants.
It's not me. I couldn't
Right.
talk there. I was like, whoa.
But that's a tequila, and it's distilled, and it's
Reduced. Yeah.
it's warm and friendly, a little angry.
Speaking, yeah.
But that's not an actual ghost pepper. It is urethra.
Right in there. Yeah, he did a sounding. He like coated a sounding.
A sounding's bad enough as is.
Yeah, and then coated in ghost pepper juice. I'm just like, what?
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. That shit's the shit of nightmares.
I mentioned only because Cupcake has consistently one-upped him. Because she's amazing.
I mean, you're not going to shove a ghost pepper in you, are you?
No. So what was it? It wasn't the first. I think it was the first time that all of us hung out together, and I finally met DJ. He was going around like snorting the like peppers and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and I was like,
those
okay,
were-
peppers and genital shit. I am heart limiting, but I will find other ways to one up you, and that has been our agreement since. Like,
They have their specialties for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the weird crowd. I don't deny it. I'm the straight guy in the bunch.
Hey, but the next time I see him, I told you I was getting my tongue split, right? So I can show that off to him the next time
You're
I see
pulling
him.
the Lee Raven thing?
Yeah,
Is that a
yeah.
tempo permanent? Is that a permanent thing?
Oh, it's permanent, yeah.
Yeah.
How much speech impediment does it? Because I've heard Lee talk and she doesn't sound weird.
No. You're just retraining yourself. It's fine.
For a little while you left, and then you figure it out after that.
Hey, for the record, I can talk better with my fangs than you can. So imagine me with my
That's
tongue
true.
split.
We did a vampire porn, and I was slurring my speech. I said it like I had a retainer. I didn't have a retainer as a kid, so I didn't learn to modify.
I didn't either.
Listen, vampire fledgling, you have been bad. You must be punished. And she's like, shut up. The footage was great. You were editing yours the other day, right?
Yeah.
Did you see mine? I slowed it down.
I
I
like
slowed
it
it down.
a lot.
I'm beating on her with a sledgehammer in one scene. It's fake sledgehammer, like a Halloween
Yeah,
prop.
fake
And I
sledgehammer.
slowed it to 50%, so it's slow motion, and then it sounds like. It looks
I
so
love
cool.
our fighting scene though. It was
It
like
looks
so
so
B-movie.
cool.
Like,
We got to do more of that shit.
yeah, that was fun.
Y'all on the kinky side of the house have so much more fun. God,
So much more fun. Kinky is just a funny way to spell creative.
Yep, we are like little kids doing our role play. It's
Yep.
great. Like,
Those of us that didn't stop playing make believe to
Yep.
play baseball grew up to be us.
there you go.
what are you calling me a jock? What the fuck?
A little bit.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We're not going to judge you too much.
I did not play sports.
All right. Well, you ended up here, so you didn't fail.
You
Obviously,
did something right.
Mostly just drinking my way into the party.
It works if you bring the booze.
Seriously, that's how I ended up in porn, was just partying with people in Chicago and just meeting people while being a drunk. And
Fucking love Chicago. When were the last time you were back?
sadly, I was back a couple weeks ago for my father's memorial.
Oh, that's a bummer and a half.
Yeah.
Well, Thanksgiving? That's not. Oh no, that's not.
Nah, dead parent.
Dead parent. That's rough.
You're like Bruce Wayne though now. Like you've got extra superpowers.
So I have to ask: Giamellis or Illuminati? Or doesn't matter?
Pequods.
Pequods. There's a third option.
Oh yeah, Pequods is.
I'm a deep dish amateur. These are Chicago deep dish pizza places.
So,
Chicago.
did we discuss this last time about Massa?
I think we might have. Yeah.
Massa of Echo Park is the legit way to get deep dish in Chicago or in LA. Chicago style deep dish in LA. I have not been drinking. I don't know why I'm showing this to the camera. It's not on.
What camera? That camera over there that we're not using?
The camera that is inert, I'm showing the quarter of the bottle of bourbon that's already in me.
That's a good 25% that's gone away, yeah. I'll catch up.
Excellent. And the shot.
That doesn't count.
I just fell out of his cup.
That doesn't count that part.
As long as it's not on my new mics. That's all that matters.
No, it went that way.
Awesome. That's just old gear. No, Massive Echo Park is actually... Their recipe is from a pizza place I used to work at in Chicago. So they're legit. 1600 Sunset. They don't sponsor the show. They don't pay me to say this. But when I'm having a hankering for home, that's where I go.
I can't respond. I just had another shot of Ghost.
Lord.
I'm afraid if I use my vocal cords, they'll catch fire.
Breathe it out. Breathe it out.
Okay, I'm fine. That one was fine. It's the other one caught the back.
Oh, yeah. The one just like toss it. Oh, whoa.
Bam. That sucked.
What's crazy is
now I know
like...
where to get deep dish.
Speaking of Ghost, like my boy Richard, who is one of the owners of Ghost.
That's how you go.
Yeah. We became friends once they started sponsoring. Like,
Oh, okay.
we've drank together a bunch. Part of what he does is just goes out and drinks Ghost everywhere.
Right.
Like, I don't know how he does it. It's good stuff, but I couldn't imagine drinking it every fucking night.
I don't drink every night. I make it look like I do. I totally don't. Nobody who's listening to this, don't tell anybody.
Oh, I drink, well, not every... we'll just skate about that. My mother listens to the show.
We're innocent, I swear.
At least 3 nights a week, I do not drink at all. 3 days a week.
Yeah, during the day. Day drinking doesn't happen every day.
Dude, when I was in Zurich, the person I was staying with drank every night, and I was trying to be like a good guest and follow that shit, and I was... I got to Oslo, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to just sit this one out.
Now, do tell the audience what you were doing in Zurich.
Well,
And tell the audience where Zurich is, because some of them probably don't know.
Outside Albuquerque.
So I went to Zurich, Switzerland, I went to Oslo, Norway, and I went to Prague in the Czech Republic. Primarily, I was going down to Europe for Oslo specifically, and in Oslo there is a suspension convention. It's at a beautiful location. They have this giant, expansive cafe that they transform, so that way everyone can do different hook suspensions and art installations. There's a waterfall to the side, so you can kind of do your hangings over there and stuff. So Prague and Zurich were kind of just pit stops because I'm like, if I'm going to be in there, I'm going to take advantage of being on that side of the world.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
No.
you know, with the plane tickets and shit, you might as well.
Damn right. That's why, hell, I just did Amsterdam, Munich, and Helsinki a month and a half ago.
Nice.
Now, for those who do not know, what is a hook suspension?
We're going to educate the audience on everything tonight.
So you're pretty much taking flesh hooks and you're putting them in different areas of your body. The most common ones are 2 points in your back, and from there you can get creative. You can do different positions. My very first day there, because no one knew me and I had a giant ego, I did a 28-point suspension.
So that's 28 different hooks?
Yes, 28 different
through
hooks.
your skin.
Through my skin.
And then hanging from them.
And then hanging from it. Yes, that's
Just
correct.
want to make sure everybody understands.
But see, me and my ego have an issue. Like, I'll never do anything where, like, it's super stupid. Like, I know the limits of my own, like, being healthy and,
28 hooks through the body, not super stupid.
Hey,
That's what she did.
She survived.
World-renowned peer
She's amazing.
though.
I'm just trying to make you guys understand what a force of nature is in the room with us today.
And so, like, the stuff I talk about, like, it definitely does sound stupid if you're not familiar, but, like, the people that I, like, did my suspension with, they are, like, some of the world's renowned ones, and especially if they're in Europe, America can't do shit. But anyways. But seriously, though, like, I have these ideas, and that's kind of the fun for me, is finding the people who have done their research and do have that backing and basis for it, so that way I can do it in the safest manner possible. It doesn't alleviate all risks, but I know that I'm in safer hands than if I were to just find someone at a random dungeon party and go, hey, I want to do this thing, So, yeah.
So there you go.
That's fucking awesome.
She is. I tried to do her justice last time, and that's why you wanted her back on the show.
Oh, definitely.
You don't understand. This
Like, I
woman's-
wanted her on the show, like, the next fucking day. I was sold. You told me, like, she is the truth. Like, I was fucking sold. She does not disappoint. I think I'm making her, self-conscious right now with all the praise.
I literally just get really bored. Like, I'm like a more educated version of that show Jackass. Like, that's me.
That's what I need to do next. I need to stuff you in an oil drum and drop you off a cliff or something and let you bounce down a flight of stairs.
Or a porta potty. Launch a porta potty with her in it.
Scats my heart limit.
No, an oil drum. Just a metal drum and stick you in it and roll you down the stairs so you're like beat up by the time you get the bottom. No? That's not...
I don't know.
There, I finally found something she doesn't want to do.
I don't
It's
know.
a first.
Look, because then you might open
What
it
if I
and
put spikes on the inside? Would that be?
Oy vey. That's awful. I don't... No. Because then I can't look into someone's eyes while they're hurting me. It's got to be romantic. It's got to be romantic.
I could put her in like one of those industrial laundry machines with a window on it, and I could stand and watch you while you flap it inside the laundry machine.
Right. So what's the most?
No.
No, I said yeah. I agreed. What is the most romantic way someone's hurt you?
God, I feel like that's kind of relative because all of the people that I do more of my crazy shit with are currently or have been past partners of mine. And so, I mean, of course, I need to have that connection there for me to trust them to do some serious shit. But by far, I think it would have to have been my Hannibal dinner scene. Like, between the candles, and he, like, found chocolate to feed me, and, like, it was just really fucking romantic. And so the audience probably didn't understand what the fuck was going on, but I was like... I think I'm in love. And then we kind of broke up. And then I was like, well, shit. But, you know, that's a great memory to have.
It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
It's better to have loved and eaten your own leg than lost.
Exactly.
Jesus.
He's like,
We broke the whole...
No. I always need another drink. That's just the reoccurring theme of the show.
Your aesthetic, it is.
Hell, one of the AVN photographers like, sorry I didn't tag you king of the drink. I'm like, when did that become my goddamn title?
That's not a bad title, though.
It's not a bad title, but
Take it.
I don't feel I deserve that.
It's a drink-heavy crowd, for sure.
And I tend to drink heavy in that drink heavy crowd.
Yes.
I do try. I'm going to have some more whiskey now. Oh, there's so many questions. Jeez. I don't even know where to continue. Jesus.
That's the thing. She stumps one. You're like, this is a sensory overload, and I wasn't even there.
I know.
This is my existence, though. I mean, every time I see her, I'm like, wow, I don't even know.
I'll just randomly text
I'm
him
about to come
ideas
up
for
with
new
something
porn scenes,
impossible.
and he's like,
What's the last one you texted him?
I think the last one we talked about was that I sent him a list of things.
She did. She sent a list of stuff, including the barbed wire suspension, and she said,
and once again, I could have outsourced that.
We need to do the tit nailing again.
Yes.
Because it didn't get filmed as well as you
I
wanted.
wasn't very happy with the camera work for that one, but it was one of my very first filmed extreme clips. And so I was just like, hey, I'm going to use the resources that I have. And so now looking back after all of the other clips that I have done, you know, more of the normal ones and so on, I have a better idea of how I want things filmed, you know? So.
Yeah, stun gun. You want to play with a stun gun.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Whipped until bleeding, which I'm totally there for that.
Yes.
I will rip you open if that's...
So, stun gun or taser?
Whichever one doesn't have the little electrical thingies that attach to you.
That the taser has.
I'm drunk now, so leave me alone.
It's all good. I can't leave you alone. We're still doing the show.
That's true.
I'm teasing, but I have in my possession one of the electrical ones that doesn't have the prongs that come out.
Right. The
Taser?
taser has the prong. So that's the one you
So
shoot.
I have a stun gun. Okay.
Right.
See, so I was right. Stun gun. So anyways, I have a stun gun that was gifted to me for my birthday by one of our other mutual fucked up friends that lives in like Pennsylvania or whatever. And so I've used that for a couple of clips. And I was like, hey, well, let's have the professional villain do it and add some rapey stuff and it'll be fun. Yeah.
So have you guys used it yet?
No,
No.
it's on the list.
No.
Aw.
Exactly.
Where's it tonight?
I don't have it.
In my toy bag a couple of hours away.
Now, DJ's got you there because he's taking a stun gun to the nuts.
I've taken a cattle prod.
He's taking $250,000. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. The cattle prod's in the drawer.
Don't look at me. I don't know how to use them.
Uno momento.
We were on a play date, and I pulled out like a violet wand. I'm like, and she like, dude, I've taken a cattle prod. I'm like, oh really? And I turned the violet wand all the way up, and she just sat there yawning at me.
No, I am very happy to always have a variety of sensational play. I just
look at you. How vanilla are you that you have a cattle prod?
see the one that I had was a little longer.
Well, Charlotte Sartre left this for me.
Oh, Charlotte.
I love her. She's so
Crazy
cool.
and a half.
Oh no, she totally is.
There was like crazy like piss filming stuff out in Prague, and I need to do that the next time I'm out there.
She's really
like,
into that shit.
I'm so jealous.
She just got back from Prague, actually.
Yeah, I've been stalking her. I'm like, girl, so can you let me know where you've been? Because I want to do some crazy piss stuff. Like,
Have you two not actually met?
oh yeah, we've shot together.
Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like, I'll make that introduction.
I haven't shot with her. I've met her a couple of times, but
Well, I'll make that introduction then.
I've met her. I just haven't shot with her.
Well, I'll convince her. I mean,
Go right
then
ahead. It's just nobody's paying us. We don't tend to do as much stuff.
I'm sure if you do a clip with her, someone will pay.
We can work on that.
You're a great wingman, though. I appreciate the effort.
So what I'm here to do, like, I'm a horrible enabler. Like, half my fun is being like, no, do this.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Stand here and watch. You
So
need a witness.
funny.
All right. Also on your list was upside down ankle suspension while being whipped,
Yeah.
which doesn't sound as intense until you're there. Because upside down ankle suspension is fucking intense.
I was going to say, because did you see the preview that I did with Schmears for the upside down bondage?
I'm not sure I did.
I have to show you again, but I did an
I like
upside
his
down
work.
angle bondage thingy, and I was like, how cool would this be if we added whipping to it? Because his clip style is a lot more like sensual, kind of like it's called pop bondage, literally, so it's a lot more palatable. So I was like, what if we take this already existing idea and we add like whipping and all of the crazy stuff with it? That would be a lot of fun. So that might be in the works.
Of the people that I've worked with, the thing that the most of them can't handle is an upside down suspension hanging by your ankles.
Yeah, it'd be a little rough.
Yes, humans aren't really well designed for that.
Not so much. Like, I feel like hanging by your ankles or your wrists would not be fun.
No, you really shouldn't do your wrists. Wrists are easily damaged.
A lot of small bones.
There are a lot of tendons and nerves,
Eesh.
veins. You can do like simple wrist bondage, just like tying somebody's wrist together. If you do it wrong, inside 10 minutes you can have permanent nerve damage. I have friends who can't feel their fingers anymore because they did bad
Serious
bondage.
business. Yeah.
So you gotta be careful. That's why you hire a villain who knows how to do that shit to do your rigging for you. It's like stuntmen.
Yep.
Or you stay vanilla like me and not
Or
get
you-
tied up.
Sure. Don't go for the fuzzy handcuffs. That's not a good alternative either.
No. If I'm using handcuffs, they're going on someone else, and they're not fuzzy.
They're not fuzzy. Fuck
Right.
that shit. Right.
What sucks right now is I lost my handcuff key, so I have a pair just sitting in my room that I can't use.
I always,
They're
in
nice
fact,
for decoration,
I almost
though.
got out of jury duty when they frisked me at the station, and I had, I always have a handcuff key. Always.
Well, that's the thing. I always had a handcuff key on my key ring. I lost my whole ring.
Oh shit, that sucks.
Like, drunken misadventure.
You can get them all over like Hollywood Boulevard and shit.
I know, I just haven't.
You just have. That's fair enough. And again, you don't use them that much, so.
Well, yeah, and technically they were, for professional use.
Yeah. I don't like them. I'll be honest. I don't like handcuffs. Handcuffs are for police to use pain to stop criminals from moving.
Yeah, that's why I had them.
I
mean, not
it when
police,
girls- I like it when girls squirm. I want them in rope that they could struggle in. So I like rope better.
See, I have a nice wrought iron bedpost, so like it's
Yeah,
It's
I
good
use
like
the rope
that.
and attached to those.
and I'm not good with rope, so
I've tied Cupcake to my bed more than once. She knows.
I'd be really impressed if you had tied her to my bed without me knowing. Like
That would be
just how'd that
Actually,
happen?
just a minute ago when you went to get the cattle prod, we did that.
Fucking quick, sir. Jesus. I hope you changed the sheets.
I changed my sheets anyway.
Well, it is now laundry day in the Slayer household because I'm not sleeping in his love stain.
I have a Cupcake folder on my phone. Do you do this where you have to put all your pictures in different folders so you're not scrolling through kitties and go, whoa, double penetration?
Nope.
You just leave them there and hope your mom doesn't scroll through your phone?
Nope. I almost had a really awkward moment with my grandmother.
Dude, yeah, don't do that. That's unwise.
I was back in Chicago, like showing my grandma some like travel pics from somewhere I was in the world, and she's like, flip, like, whoa, grandma, stop.
Don't look there.
Yep.
You're about to end up in AVN photos. And
This is as much as I can zoom this because it's not the greatest of pictures, but this is Cupcake moments after the tit nailing scene with blood dripping down her torso
Oh, was that the one
from
Raven
that
Ray
tit
took?
nailing.
Yeah, that was the one Raven raped.
Yeah.
She looks glistening.
She was so happy. She was so happy.
That's always my favorite thing, though, is like I'll do my like crazy performances, and it's funny because they look worse than they honestly actually are. Like I said at the beginning, I'll scream and cry, but I'll follow through. And so, especially for performances when it's like super crazy and like the audience has just gone completely still, I like to laugh and giggle because I'm like, hey, this is relative. I'm A-okay. This is fine. It's just a moment in time. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be this crazy pain person to like force yourself to undertake things in a quest to see what you can handle. You know what I mean? So that was me giggling.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. I personally am not into pain for me. I'm much more of a sadist than I am a masochist.
I like to use the term extreme sensation in either direction because things that hurt one person don't hurt another person, right? It's extreme sensation because, like, the amount of pain you could take on purpose versus stubbing your toe in the middle of the night, barefoot, walking towards the bathroom, that's nobody gets off on that.
There's got to be somebody. There's got to be one guy.
I should not say that, and I should not say nobody.
Dude, when I got my magnet implant and my hand was cramping, I'm just like, this is the worst thing ever. Like all of the shit that I've gone through, and somehow like that was what.
Wait. Let's back up there. Magnet implant.
I know we can't see it on the podcast, but
Yeah, her hand is magnetic.
Hold on. Where's my phone? This has to be a promo picture right here. Like,
she's got a magnet.
Let's
in her
can
hand.
we do it straight down? Oh, perfect. So for the audience at home,
goodness gracious,
Cupcake apparently has superpowers.
I'm like a bootleg Magneto.
She's not a Holocaust survivor, but she has the magnetic powers.
But she did say oy vey, and she's
She
drinking
does.
your Jewish wine.
Goodness
So
gracious. For the record,
So
I always
close.
say oy vey. It's not me drunk, I promise. Villain can attest to that.
But for the audience at home, she literally like took her hoopy ring out and then suspended it from her hand, flat palm,
because there's a magnet in there.
because there's a magnet implant. Like, do you just swipe like your hand over credit cards to fuck with people? Like,
Oh goodness. So it's not that strong, but I have, because I take the Metro here, so you know how you have like that tap card that you have to reload?
Yeah.
I have accidentally wiped out my own tap card sometimes when I go to take it out of my purse.
Oh shit.
And I'm sitting there in a hurry trying to catch that like train, and I'm like, oh, there goes $20. Like,
so what is the origin of the magnet hand?
well, so I personally, sorry, I'm like, I don't know exactly what origin point to
explain
go
this
from. The reason I got it was, once again, because I work with computers and technology. I like having that feeling that I'm connected, in a sense, to what I do, especially on a vanilla level, because sometimes with all of the quote-unquote fun of the porn stuff, sometimes it's nice to have like a kind of anchor to like, okay, this is what everybody else does or whatever, and especially for something like computers, I really enjoy working with technology.
And you're like, if a kid's like run across a floppy disk, fuck that thing. Fuck it.
Nobody has floppy
that
disks
through.
anymore.
You know what? I've had a couple of like people that I've been helping where like they were kind of assholes because, you know, everyone treats customer servicers like shit, and like I'll go and like kind of wipe my hand across their Mac and it automatically puts it to sleep, and I'm just like, you've got to put in your password again. And it's like small things, but it makes me feel very vindicated.
That's adorable.
So, but seriously, back to like, how did this happen? Where did the concept come from?
Yeah.
That is a implant that I have never heard on anyone else.
Yeah, she has a magnet hand. You were with somebody else that had one.
Yeah, okay, so the
Were there opposite poles? Were you pushing away from each other? Were you like
Yes.
slapped together?
So, origin story. So the reason I got it was because I like being connected to technology. The way that I found out about the idea was the person who actually did my Hannibal dinner scene. Him and his partner at the time actually got magnet implants from one of the top body mop piercers in Europe. And that way, whenever they held hands, their hands would connect with the magnets. And I thought that was super fucking sweet in its own romantic, fucked up way. And so I was like, well, I don't really have anyone, but computers will always be there. So, and now I can entertain small children with weird magic
But
tricks.
we were talking to somebody. Was it Nikki Hartz maybe? Somebody else she saw it and wanted it, or I thought somebody else had one.
I don't know.
Or no, she had a
It was
friend with her.
Schmears.
Nikki Hartz filmed for us not that long ago. She
Yeah.
recorded the fight scene we were talking about.
Oh, that's awesome. I love Nikki.
And you mentioned your hand magnet, and she's like, "Oh, I was thinking of getting one." I remember you talking with them
Because a
about.
lot of the body mod people are in the same group and stuff like that. So I got mine done by this couple, and apparently that couple worked with the same guy that like did all of Nikki Hart's stuff and stuff like that. And they're all kind of in the same circle. So I was like, yeah, so and so did mine, and she's like, oh, so and so did mine. I'm like, yeah. So, anyways, I get bored. I get bored very easily.
It's a sign of intelligence. It's cool.
She's very smart.
Somewhat disagree, but whatever.
No, she's very smart.
Yeah, of course, an intelligent person would be like, no, I'm not smart.
Socratic sense of knowledge.
Right, exactly. Dumb people never assert that they're not intelligent. Dumb people are like, I'm number one.
Oh, goodness.
Intelligent people always are like, nope, I'm not smart. It's just the curse of being intelligent, because you always assume that, like,
She doesn't realize she's as pretty as she is either. I mean, look at her. She's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl.
Anyways.
And she's like, no, and you pull her hair in front of
she's like, I'm gonna blush. Oh my god, the villain is gonna make me
She doesn't
blush.
understand how shallow I am. That if she was not pretty, I would not have hung out with her in the first place.
Goodness.
No, I'm not shallow.
Wait, you just said you were.
I will play with people who are not attractive or who I'm not attracted to if there's money involved. I'm a whore. I don't doubt that for a second. But I'll play with her anytime she fails to back up fast enough, because she's gorgeous.
I am really regretting not getting that tarp. Jesus Christ, look. There's a big chunk of the Manischewitz gone. There's a big chunk of the ghost gone. I feel like if I have to leave the room for half a second, there's going to be something happening in my fucking living room.
The stories we could tell.
I mean, if that happens,
there's a lot of
turn on the
video
camera.
Yeah, well, we'd catch it for sure. But there's a lot of video footage already. You know, your fans can enjoy our work. There's free samples on both of our sites.
Yep.
I think I have free samples of you right now. We haven't shot in a while. We're like overdue for another play date, you and me.
Well, I give you my list of ideas.
Yeah, but you didn't say let's do this now.
I know.
Hold on. I always have free samples on my site. The last dozen updates, there's 20-second teaser clips.
Nice.
This is why I'm constantly running out of bandwidth. Y'all are welcome. 1, 2, 3.
So I'm curious, Cupcake, any other
There you go.
unique
Number 6
piercings
is the
or
vampire.
modifications?
At this time,
9.
no. I'm not. Everything that I do, kind of, as cliche as it sounds, relate to me somehow. So I'm not one of those people where I'm going to go head to toe in tattoos. Like, I've only got 4 major ones, and they all mean something to me in some way. The magnet related to me in some way. I mean, I'm gonna get my tongue split.
What does the tongue splitting mean to you?
Good question.
So, God, it sounds so corny. So, growing up, and Tim can attest to this, I had a very hard time vocalizing and expressing myself assertively. And as cliche as it sounds, I have found a way to kind of grow and go past that, especially within my career in adult entertainment. It changes you, and for me, it changed me for the better, because I've learned more about myself as a person and how to establish my own boundaries, and especially for the crazy shit that I do, how to speak up and assert what I need and so on. And so, for me, the tongue split is kind of a reminder of the times when I did stay silent, when I should have spoken up more.
That's
It's super corny. I don't know.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's very sincere. Come on.
You're right. You have, since in the 4 years that I've known you, you have made such improvements in your ability to communicate what you want and what you don't
I used to cry over
want.
everything.
I get off on tears. Don't worry, it's fine.
Oh, they're the best lube.
Dude.
Behind blood.
No, just licking them off a girl's face while she's crying. I just.
Oh,
I
I may have done that to an ex-girlfriend. I may have licked her face like when she's crying. But
A girl giving
delicious.
a girl giving you a blowjob in tears is just like, I don't know why I'm in the right profession. Is all. I just
Of your tattoos, can you tell the audience the meaning of what inspired you?
Okay, so like I mentioned, I have 4 of them. The one on my right wrist is an anarchy symbol, and that clearly represents Club Anarchy. Once again, they have been amazing in allowing me to assert myself and explore who I am and the boundaries that I'm able to push. Because, I mean, let's face it, you can't go into a normal bar or nightclub in LA and do some of the performances that I do. And so far, no one else has really hired me or allowed me to do some of the performances that I do. And so for that, I'm really grateful. I have a great group of sisters that I perform with. On my left hand is the BDSM symbol encased in a heart. And it's got some decorative shit, so it looks like a bracelet on the other side. But once again, BDSM has had a huge impact on how I perceive myself. I see what you did there. But yeah, once again, BDSM has kind of literally saved my life. I mean, I had huge depression issues. I have a lot of weird things in how I perceive myself. And so being able to have consent and have communication and all the things that you might not have in an ordinary relationship has really helped me a lot. I have a red bow on my lower back.
I love the bow.
Of course
She's
you
gift
do.
wrapped. She's got this beautiful little bow
likes
like a
shooting his
present
load
on
on
her
it.
back. I got a great photo. If you don't mind seeing my dick, I could show you a photo
A dick's a dick.
of
That's
jizz
the
all
only
over
reason
her
he likes my
bow.
bow is because he likes shooting his load on it.
I do really like shooting my low on.
I mean, are we really friends if we haven't seen each other's penises? I mean,
I
that's just-
assume everybody's seen my dick. It's all over the damn internet.
Oh, goodness.
There you go. Look at the bow.
oh, there you go.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Great, isn't it?
And there goes
You're
his
right.
load
I mean, your load's
shot.
a little south of the bow, though. I mean,
I don't point
He's a
straight.
little
I point off
excited.
to one side. So
I think you just have to go again.
it's happened more than once.
It's happened more than once. So yeah, once again, the bow, I pretty much, it was supposed to be like a corset bow without the actual corset kind of intricacies within it. And so it's kind of a reminder to like stand up straight, be proud of the space that you're walking within, and not allow yourself to be overshadowed by other people. Once again, I've got huge social anxiety issues.
That's awesome.
As Tim can attest, I've grown a lot, and I recognize that growth. So I got that tattoo kind of they're all reminders of
I never
like,
knew
my
what that was
past.
about. I always loved it. I'm like, I love that that's there. I never asked it.
It's so hot. Jack off. And last but not least, I've got like the little, I've got the Hello Kitty bear, Rilakkuma, and his friends on my thigh, and a like little cameo thing. And it's kind of a reminder to age play that I really enjoy doing. So age play is when you role play as a younger perception of yourself, or older, depending on the scenarios that you do. But I'm very much into like the little girl kind of role play of things. And I was going through a very difficult time in my life where I clung to that particular aspect of kink a lot more than I did my masochism and other things. And now that I'm in a more stable place, I've kind of it's been harder for me to get into that headspace, but I got it as a reminder of what it meant to me in that point of time, and not to lose my quote unquote innocence in a weird way. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Good tattoos, right? Those are awesome.
No, it's awesome. I'm very big on, even if you are not into the art that you got at one point, at least it's a reminder of where you were when you got it.
Exactly.
Like, I have tattoos that I'm like, that's not the best art in the world, but it reminds me of where I was when I got it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've got two. All I got is the two piercings in my one ear, and they're just symbols of varying stages of independence in my life, and that's all. But I still remember why I did it, so that's cool.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. They're big statements for you. Like, that's all that matters.
I got my hair. I obsess on my hair.
Hey, I'm jealous of that. I miss my long hair. I miss it. I miss it so much.
Good time.
I had hair down to the middle of my back.
Why don't you
My
grow
minion.
out
I have
then?
one henchman on Twitter. He's like
Day job.
and he cut his hair recently. He had long. What's his name? Pony.
Darn puppy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He cut his hair. I'm like,
Wow.
I almost texted back, "You're not my henchman anymore." That would have been really mean.
How are you a villain if you've got
You're
short
not my
hair?
henchman anymore. You're a red shirt now.
Oh, that's so mean. That's so mean.
He's a good guy, though. And he looks good. It's just,
It's different.
it's always, it makes one. Oh, look at you! I love it!
Oh, yeah.
See, let me,
Look at that
damn,
shit!
man.
Oh, that's metal as fuck.
Metal as fuck, man.
Yeah.
But is it Iron Maiden Trooper metal as fuck?
I was wearing a Cannibal Corpse Eaten Back to Life shirt. I believe
counts.
that's pretty
Cannibal Corpse
fucking
counts.
metal.
That counts? Absolutely.
I can't compete. I'm a Norma Jean girl. I'm not even in the same category. I'm sorry.
It's
But
okay.
you're rocking. You guys, again, you'll see the photo because we did take one picture, and Cupcake's got this adorable little polka dot dress with roses on it. It's just like,
Oh, goodness.
It'd look even cuter in shreds on my bedroom floor, but
So what you're saying is I got to use the bathroom, give you 2 a minute?
Oh, goodness.
it takes more than a minute. You know. Bring him.
I mean, 5. I can take a shit.
Please don't.
There's a fan. It works. Don't worry.
It's like, all right, do you like this? Oh, yeah. Oh. Mood breaker.
Just still be slapping it harder. I mean, drown out the poop sounds.
Can I concede another personal moment from our off-camera time together?
Okay.
Of course.
I do not live alone. I live with my sweetie, and although I never mention this on social media or anywhere else, she has a grown-up daughter. And her grown-up daughter and her grown-up daughter's fiance live with us at this time. And all the bedrooms are on one side of the house, and spring and summer, the bedroom windows are open.
Right.
There's the setup. Sweetie's out of town, I invited Cupcake to spend the night with me. It was awesome. We had a wonderful time together, and I kept trying to muffle her face because I know the window's open. And she's, I mean, we're doing like rape play. I woke her up in the fun way, and she's like, "No, Daddy, this is so wrong." I'm like, "My kid can hear you."
Hey, you started it, man. I'm sorry.
I did. I totally started. It's my fault. And the next day,
Well, what's worse is her fiance probably heard it.
yeah, and the next day, the two of them were like, "Did you have a good time?" Or what?
Sorry.
It was so fucking sorry. It was great. It was great. They still give me shit over that.
Sorry. I was just sleeping, minding my own business.
Yeah, I did that. That was my
It should be sorry, not sorry.
yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
not sorry.
I mean, I should have just stuffed a pillow over her face, but in truth, the whining really works for me.
See, I like whining and suffocating, so it could have gone both ways. I wouldn't have cared.
You could have done both. Like little suffocation play, pull up the pillow.
Take a deep breath. Boom. So, yeah, I'm going to have to pay for a lot of therapy when that kid finally leaves my house.
Goodness.
No, her husband will.
Yeah, no, I will. It's my fault.
Yeah, but she's marrying off. That's his problem now.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Come on now. Don't take on a bill that you don't have to.
Outsourcing.
Exactly. Come on.
I just know where the fault lies, is all.
Well, you can accept responsibility. That doesn't mean you have to pay for it.
I donated a bunch of art from my website to the local BDSM club where I hang out. Sadly, Cupcake and I live like 30 miles opposite ends of the LA
This
basin.
has been like the first time we've seen each other in like
Over
2
a month,
months.
yeah. But the club where I hang out.
For the non-LA folks, 30 miles might as well be another state.
Well, there's a big mountain range in the way. It's
Traffic
excruciating. It could be up to 3 hours.
But traffic really is so bad that you can often make it to Nevada or Arizona faster than you could across the goddamn valley.
Yes. Anyway, so the club where I tend to hang out the most, I donated some art. I was like, Pro Villain stuff on the walls. Here, have some. And then the kid turned 18 and started going to that same club. She's like, "Oh, that's my dad. Could have warned me." So they took the art down, and I volunteered to pay for the therapy. Never happened, but, you know, that's the kind of thing you got to warn your kid about.
This is why I'm not breeding.
Yeah. I didn't. I just, when I fell in love with my sweetie, she had a 4-year-old daughter, and now that daughter is like 26, so.
Yeah, I'm trying not to do that too, but I'm of the age where, like, meeting girls that don't have kids is few and far between.
Well, kids are awesome. I didn't want to do the work. I didn't have to do the work. I missed the terrible twos and the diapers and all that. I got to corrupt her and turn her into the wonderfully evil person she is today. Very proud of her. I don't talk about her almost ever. This is like, I think, the first time as Tim Woodman Pro Villain I ever mentioned her.
Well, I mean,
but she's a grown-up, but she can't, I can't get sued for that now.
exactly. She's 26. Fuck.
Yeah. Now I need a drink, though. I'm going to go get the rest of that
I
Casamigo.
wish I had a folks in the scene.
It's definitely an interesting thing.
This is all that's left. All right.
Yeah, that's all that's left. It's all yours. You brought it in the first place.
Chug.
Don't need that anymore. All due deference to our sponsor, Ghost Tequila, and that stuff's delicious. Last time I was here, I brought a bottle of Casamigos Blanco, and there's about an ounce left in it, and I'm going to kill it.
I didn't necessarily grow up in the scene, but my mom was a dom.
Nice. That's cool.
For funsies.
For funsies.
No, she likes to specify, like, when I bring it up, she's like, no, I did for funsies, not for pay.
I think you told me that.
I mean, not that there's a big difference, but all right.
There's a big difference when you're in that community. Lifestyle doms and pro doms don't much get along.
Yeah, the very old guard way of thinking is like there's a huge river in separation of it, but somehow...
This was the 90s, so...
Yeah.
Wait, okay, sure.
Well, I had to, like, my mom had a rack set up in her living room,
Yeah, sure.
and my cousins came by, she threw a sheet over it, like, you can't tell them what that is.
What is that giant rectangular object in the corner, Mom?
Right.
My kid got old enough and she was over at a friend's house. It's a shoot house, but we weren't shooting that day. We were just like doing office work. And she's like 14 or so, and she's like, I've been coming here since I was a kid. I just realized that over there, that's a bondage horse. And we said, yeah, now we know you know what that is.
Oh, shit.
So it's kind of a double disclosure there. We're all in this together.
Yeah, my mom was always really open about it. At least to me, but, like, the rest of the family was kind of...
Back to you, Cupcake. Let's
Yeah.
talk more about you.
Instead of my weird growing ups.
Hey, but no, I mean, that's really important, though. Like, being able to have age-appropriate discussions as they're going on through different points in their life is, like, really good, and it helps maintain people as healthy, functional adults, you know?
Yeah. Your job is to give them enough knowledge and information to make good choices. Not to make them for them. Give them everything they need so they can make good choices.
Wait a minute, I'm a healthy, functional adult?
I didn't say your parents did a good job. I don't know.
They didn't. They did a horrible
How would
job.
I know that?
Sorry, Mom, I know you listen.
You're fun. That doesn't mean you're functional. How would I know?
I pay my bills on time. That's the American definition of functional, right?
Goodness gracious.
Like, I haven't gotten evicted ever. I don't miss work often from drinking.
You're here, so...
Right, exactly. Once in a while, I get too drunk to edit this, but...
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
No, that totally happened Sunday night, actually. I got wrecked, and I'm like... I got wrecked to the point where I'm like, I'm going to break down the gear. I don't have a show for a couple days. And then woke up in the morning and went, oh, fuck, I didn't record the pre-roll for this week's episode. I got to put it all back together just to fucking re-record this shit.
Goodness gracious.
That's funny.
I have a hard life. It happens. More bourbon.
Wait, I've got to get my jug.
No, we're all just going straight from the bottles now.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got you the big jug.
Fuck civilization.
Look, see,
Oh,
I
he's
feel like
still
I'm
going
able
into
to
the
keep
glass.
up because
I'm classy. I'm a classy hoe.
bigger
Good
than
man.
everyone else's, you know?
I'm going straight. Tequila straight from the bottle has a certain romance to it.
Well, you only have an ounce
Usually
left.
reserved for like Skid Row videos. See, I was there then. I was grown. Well, I was like 18 when Skid Row's album "Slave to the Grind" came out. I was there for that. I don't know why I had to mention that. Right? That doesn't make me cool. It just makes me
Just makes you old.
Aww.
Hey, it's okay.
E for effort.
It's the old white dudes on this side of the table.
All this stuff is like candy.
It's not quite as good as Ghost Tequila, but it's pretty good.
Ghost stuff is pretty intense. I'm not nothing against it.
Ghost Tequila.
I'm gonna just edit that sound.
Obvious.
I'm just gonna edit that soundbite out and send it to my sponsors. Like,
You're welcome.
Here you go.
I gotta get a sponsor, man. I got Don Julio to sponsor me. The
Hey.
official drink of villains. That would be awesome.
I am super happy with Ghost. I love them. I love everything about them.
How did it come about? Did they approach you? Did you?
So that came about because a author buddy of mine is friends with Richard, who is part of the owner, one of the owners of Ghost, and he just hooked us up over email, and then like we met in person and started drinking, and like, oh hey,
We'll sponsor your show.
we'll sponsor your show.
Yeah.
Oh, I like drinking. You like drinking. We're having a lot of fun.
All right.
For the audience at home, go back and listen to the episode with Richard Pomez.
So what I got to do is I got to hang out with George Clooney somewhere because he owns, for example, Casamigos.
He sold it.
Oh, he did. That's right. But I bet he's still got some pull over there.
I'm sure he
And
does.
I'm sure on some level he's a twisted fuck. He's got to be. He's got those dark eyes and that sarcastic smile.
I feel like his
he's
level of weirdness may outweird us all. Like when you got that kind of money, you're just kind of like, ooh,
That's possible.
some dark shit.
He brought in trained elephant seals and
Goodness.
it's a party.
Well, I've been thinking about this. You know, the average dude, the average scumbag dude sends an unsolicited dick pic. When you're an A-list scumbag dude, you just masturbate in front of people.
Apparently that's what you do. Yes.
Damn.
We have learned this. Dude, that was a low fucking I didn't want to hear about that.
But seriously, like, it's like I'm an A-lister. I don't even have to actually send it to you, just in
do
person.
it right here and you have to
Lord.
stay here. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that was so
The
disappointing.
fucking nerve.
That was so disappointing.
No, it's colossally fucked up.
Yeah, we're waxing political now about Louis.
Louis Harvey Weinstein.
Louis in specific, though, because he was a champion of women's rights,
seemed
and
really
all of his
fucking
spiel
cool.
was about men are predators and beware of them. And
There you
fuck-
go.
He knew
Jack.
firsthand.
Come on, people.
He's like in person.
I guess
being
he
that
knew.
person. He knew for firsthand.
He knew firsthand experience. He's like,
Damn it.
this is what happens.
Yeah, we thought it was comedy. It was
He's
just a desperate cry for help.
monologuing. Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Comedy and tragedy are just a fine line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
There
the
you go.
masks.
That's true.
That was very disappointing.
Do you want to pause real quick? She needs
Why
to
not?
pee.
All right.
Sorry.
I won't remember where we were, but that's fine.
Hey, we're back from break. People had to urinate. I had to get ice. We're back.
We got to clean up the blood.
And the semen.
Seaman Staines, consider yourself discharged.
Ba-dum-bah. Speaking of military, you know Gomer Pyle died this week?
What?
Gomer?
Jim Neighbors died.
Oh, man. Well, everybody does, I guess, but...
Not me. I'm immortal so far.
Neighbors. Did you know he was an honorary Marine? He's like one of the only people that's ever been given the status of honorary Marine.
For being Gomer Pyle.
For being Gomer. That's awesome, isn't it?
It's like, you were the most incompetent Marine on television. We're going to make you a Marine.
Here. That's adorable.
Rest in peace, Jim Neighbors.
Rest in peace, Jim.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm back to Ghost now. I had a brief break from your commercial sponsor, and now we're back to Ghost with ice and lime.
That's a beautiful way to drink it.
The lime hides the pepper till it hits the back of your tongue.
I know, it's so good.
You and I.
It makes the best spicy margaritas. It really does.
It does. I've had a couple of pepper-infused margaritas, and it's a good way to go. But this will be my go-to for that now. Because you can't just dash some Tabasco in there.
No, it's not the same.
That's henchman level. That's not villain level.
Ghost pepper.
It's got a little bit of a sticky.
So when the episode's over, we're going to just record a whole bit of Cupcake being like, sexy ghost pepper spot.
Ghost pepper hits the back of the tongue with a single, I don't know.
I'll give you a script.
We'll do that one again.
I mean, I need you to look the other way. I may have to touch myself while you're doing that. Ooh, hot.
Little Louis C.K. impersonation there.
Oh,
I brought it right back. We
Wow.
brought it right back.
So for the audience at home, I was kidding.
It's in his pants, safe and sound.
Right? Well, I hope it's safe and sound. I haven't checked on it recently.
Nobody's inflated it with saline or...
I mean, it may have retracted into my body just for safety.
At some point, just tuck in there and...
Like, it's not safe to be out in the wild these days.
there's crazy shit going around.
So, I've worked... It's been 2 decades now. It's almost been 22 years that I've been doing porn. In April, it'll be 22 years. And I cannot... Honestly, I can't think of anybody who can take the kind of beating that Cupcake can take. I've worked with Amber Rain. She was an amazing creature. I could beat her until I came off my feet. I whipped her with my heaviest whip until I was literally off my feet hitting her. And when they said cut, she turned around and said, "You could hit me harder if you wanted."
She's like, I blew out my arm.
She was I was like, literally, I cannot hit you harder than this. Cupcake can take more than Amber could. Rest her soul. I love Amber like a little sister that I occasionally fuck.
In the best, dirtiest way possible.
In the best, dirtiest way possible. Sometimes you shove a dildo up someone's ass.
These things happen.
They do. She, too, used to laugh at me, though. We were doing a custom video, and I said some particularly corny line, and she just busted out. It's in my gag reel. She just lost her shit. She's like, "I'm sorry, that was so corny." And she was just gone for like 5 minutes. But you can take more than she could. Legend that Amber was. You could take more.
Goodness.
She's an amazing creature. I'm just praising her because she's awesome and she's on your show.
Hey, I feel like she's about to blush.
About to.
She's like, oh my God, these men just showering me with affection.
It's so horrible.
It's so horrible.
Why are you so charming?
Okay, so here's your best acting thing. I'm going to tell another Cupcake story.
Oh God.
Here's your best acting thing.
I like how we were both collectively like,
Oh, God,
shit.
help us. She did this thing. We were over, this was at my house. I almost never shoot at my house, but I didn't have any money, so we shot at my house. And I have a cool tool shed in the backyard, so we used that.
At your house.
And somehow, and this was not me, somehow Cupcake convinced Charlotte Cross to come along for the ride. And we had a great day. We shot so much goofy, weird
amazing.
shit.
What did you guys shoot?
A lot of just weird shit.
We she had like these little like lolly cakes and we ate them in the bathtub for some weird reason, and then he like groped her in a shed, and then we like ran around and she was top and I was bottom, and like she didn't have her panties and I didn't have my bra, and we were like secret eight, like it was just ridiculous shit, but it was super hot. Like
There was a lot of just goofy ass shit.
Goofy shit.
But then at one point, Cupcake wanted to play henchman for me. So we did a scene where I had caught Charlotte and tied her up, and I was going to sell her for ransom.
Yes.
And this is available on Cupcake's store. You should buy it there.
It's
I
called
can
Market
sell it, but
Value.
you should buy it from her.
I remember clips by the titles I give them, and sometimes he titles them something differently. So sorry about that.
So I tied her up, and I'm scaring her, and I slashed her clothes apart and whatever. And then I noticed that her toes don't have any toenail polish on. I'm like, well, I can't sell it like this. Fuck! Where's my minion? And I leave. And Cupcake comes in as this bouncy little, kind of like Harley Quinn's baby sister. And she comes in all giggly and happy. We're going to play together. And she's like doing this like psychotic girlfriend routine. And Charlotte's got these wide, terrified deer in the headlights
She's so
eyes.
good at being damsel.
And Cupcake's painting her toes. And at some point, Charlotte says something like, has he ever, I don't know, something like, were you ever a hostage too? And Cupcake gets this look on her face. She's like, well, sometimes, but you really ought to do what he says. It's really better if you do what he says. And she gets like all scared and sad. Okay, and then goes back to painting her toes. I'm like, what the fuck? It was
I'm not
so
good at being
brilliant.
big, scary like villain, but I'm really good at being like Harley Quinn psycho. So Charlotte's like playing into the damsel. She's just like, but what are we gonna do? And I'm just like, well, if you don't struggle this much, it'll be absolutely fine. It's just so great.
And then at the end of it, I yell at her from the other side of that, Minion! And she gets real scared. Just whatever he says, do what he says. And she runs away.
Charlotte's like, oh shit.
It was beautiful acting. It was because I didn't do a goddamn thing. I tied her up and left, and Cupcake provided all the fear for me. It was brilliant.
Charlotte's so great at improv, though. Like, because I'm bad at, like,
you played off
coming
each
up
other
with my
so
own shit.
good.
So she says something, and then I'll say it back, but I'll just be like, let's see how creepy fun we can make this. Because I think that's hot. Do you think that's hot? Okay, let's do it.
So go to Cupcakes. What's your website where you can buy your shit? Is it a...
All of it's on Clips for Sale.
Go to
if you
Clips
just
for Sale.
search Cupcake Sinclair.
Cupcake Sinclair and look for market value or type, I guess, search Charlotte Cross and you'll find it.
Yeah, yep.
It was brilliant. It was like Batman
So
level.
funny.
You guys have too much fucking fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I love playing Harley
So
Quinn,
much fun.
though. Cheers.
Cheers. Like,
For my recent one, I did Harley Quinn for our DC versus Marvel party. Remember?
Yeah.
I was telling you about that. We have, once again, this is the Anarchy. Anarchy is the only place that lets me do shit. And I was dressed as Harley Quinn, and then Ivy was dressed as Ivy. She's another body mod hook suspension person. And then Villain's henchman, Todd. And it was pretty much like I was trying to seduce, Poison Ivy and stuff like that. And then the henchman walks in and catches us. And so he, beats me up a little, and then Ivy throws this flesh hook in my side, and so we do a hook pull, and that's when the henchman does a cheek skewer, and I'm Harley Quinn, so I'm just we've got this weird dubstep music in the background, and I'm just jumping up and down on the hook pull that she's tugging along, and he puts the skewer through my cheek, and I'm just doing my weird Joker laugh because I can't fully smile because my cheeks are
Did you
tears.
catch that?
Right.
A skewer through her cheek. Did you
so
catch
how
that?
bloody was that?
Compared to my other stuff, not as bloody, honestly.
Well, that's not a good comparison. Compared to wholesale slaughter of me being skewered and just gutted like a pig,
And the Lucille
there's
bath on
only
her
a little
ass.
bit of blood. For the normal people,
Oh, goodness.
for the vanilla folk,
How's it compared to a bloody nose?
So for my cheeks, my running joke for the week that I was healing was, hey, this is a lot better than Botox. And that was my comparison. I wasn't bleeding, but my cheeks sure as hell were swollen, and it hurt to smile, and I was like, God, this is great for my complexion. And that was about the long and short of it.
Oh, crap.
For the hook pull, we call them hook pulls when you do a flesh hook and you're not actually suspending through it and you're having someone else tug it. We call it a flesh pull. There's nuances between those.
Yeah.
For that one, it really doesn't bleed so much as there's just kind of a small circular hole and you're just waiting for that to kind of, close itself.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that was all.
And a non-sex question: Marvel or DC?
Oh, don't put me in that position.
I did. I did.
Oh.
I did on mic.
Yeah.
God damn
on
it.
the
I'm
spot.
gonna be judged. God damn it.
I never said you were going to be judged. I didn't say you wouldn't be judged. But I'm saying Marvel or DC.
You know what? I love Harley Quinn and Catwoman and Poison Ivy way too much. I feel
She's a DC girl. I
Yeah.
could have told you that the moment you asked.
Well, I was asking her.
Yeah.
I
I didn't say anything.
Seriously, though, they're all fascinating characters, and especially with all of the movies that we've had coming out on either side, it's really pretty good. But I've got to be that stereotypical person. I like my Gotham girl gang, you know?
How about you, dude?
Marvel.
I got one word for you. Snicked. That's it. A fight over. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. There's Wolverine. There's everybody else.
Yep. That's true.
Depends on who's writing it. You know,
Did you read Wolverine versus Spider-Man? I'm showing my age again. This was probably 1988. Berlin Wall was still up, and there was a one-off Wolverine versus Spider-Man comic.
I don't think I've actually read that
Best
one.
comic I ever read. Wolverine and Spider-Man on the bad news side of the Berlin Wall
Damn.
before it fell. Best comic I ever read. Because they're like the iconic opposites of each other. Spider-Man is the goody two-shoes.
Yep.
And Wolverine is the bloody dark hero. And watching them go head-to-head. Watching them go head-to-head was like, it's the best comic I ever read.
Yeah.
I still have it. I didn't bring it here. It's too valuable.
I'm going to have to see if there's a digital copy because I do my comics digitally these days.
Okay, well, if you can find it. It was a good one.
I'll have to check it out.
You got to read it.
I'm a huge fan of Greg Rucka's run on Punisher. He wrote Punisher like he's a force of nature, as he should be. Seriously.
Did you read the Wolverine versus Punisher one-off?
Yeah.
That was good stuff, right?
Yeah.
That was good.
Is that the one where he ran him over with the fucking... he shot him in the balls and then ran him over with a fucking steamroller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But if you ever get a chance,
was a
it's
bit
from
of a
2012. Greg Rucka's run on the Punisher. There are just whole scenes where the Punisher doesn't even talk. It's just like,
He doesn't need to.
yeah.
Yeah, it just speaks for itself.
Are you guys current on Netflix, The Punisher?
Oh, fuck no. I'm not current on anything under the sun.
Besides Walking Dead, it's all out for comic book related show stuff. I'm gonna be honest.
Then I will save that for a future episode.
All right.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we've got our
We'll do
homework.
Because I will be full of
You
spoilers.
get the video camera working. We'll come do a thing, and you tell us what body parts we have to cover, and me and Cupcake will come back, and we'll do a performance thing for you.
We don't have to cover any
Get the
body
chart.
parts. I'll just upload it somewhere that isn't YouTube.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Goodness.
I mean, I
We're
can
out.
get the video camera working right now. I just can't do it from my phone.
Right.
I could definitely
Well,
set
we've
up a
been
shot.
drinking now. I don't.
Yeah,
For you
well,
kids
son-
at home, don't drink and then play.
Risk aware consensual kink.
Play and then drink, not the other way around.
Plus it thins the blood.
This is why, because the alcohol thins the blood and you bleed more.
Yep.
Right,
Don't
buddy.
need that on my floors.
I had a buddy, a dumbass buddy, back when I was a rocker musician. He got shit-faced, tanked to the wind, several bottles of Jack, and then decided he needed to pierce his eyebrow.
Oh Lord.
And it wouldn't stop bleeding. He missed a whole days of rehearsal.
Just fucking
wouldn't stop
spurting.
bleeding. It wouldn't stop. Dude, we're all waiting for you. He's like, I'm at the piercing place. It won't stop bleeding. I'm so drunk. I'm like, fuck you, you asshole.
There you go.
Goddamn drummers.
There's your story.
Anyway, we'll come to a thing.
No,
I'm saying this full confidence, Cupcake's not going to go, no thanks. But I don't know.
Hey, you guys are pretty cool cats.
I'm pretty sure she'll do it.
Aw.
If I ask her nicely, I'm pretty sure. If I ask her meanly, then I'm definitely sure.
We'll do it at AVN.
We could do a thing at AVN.
Hey, more initiative for you to come with me. We'll split a hotel room.
All right. See, I got no money at the
you.
moment. I got $8 in my wallet, and that's it.
Hey, Villain, I would love to be your sugar mama. Let's do it.
We can do this thing.
Oh, shit. You got a sugar mama. I'm making magic happen on air. You got a sugar mama from doing the show.
I'll drive.
God damn it, I haven't even gotten a sugar mama from doing the
You've
show.
been mentoring me for enough years. I've got to reciprocate somehow.
You know
What, one bottle of Manischewitz doesn't make you a sugar mama for me?
Sorry, man. It's not been, 5,
It's
6
funny
years?
we don't have
It's
a
been
status on any of our social media. I feel like my Fet Life should say something about how I'm protecting Cupcake, and it doesn't. I should.
Aw.
It's all good.
Will you
I
be
understand.
my Fet Life?
I'll be your
I
Life
would do that.
partner.
I'm gonna put is protecting Cupcake, and anybody fucks with you, I will tear them to pieces. 'Cause I adore you, right? We've said this privately, but I absolutely adore you,
Thank you, Daddy.
and I will take care of you.
Oh, good.
Oh, I'm happy to facilitate this.
After 5 years? 6 years?
I don't even know.
It's
Probably,
been a while.
yeah,
It's
probably,
been a
yeah.
while.
Could be 6, I
Yeah.
think. Well, it was AVN. I feel we met before,
AVN was the actual
but that's when I was like,
hardcore
"There's
deal.
something more going on
Because
here."
a couple of months before that, we were kind of hanging out and doing camp
Yeah,
shows.
well,
but-
we did. We did your show at Sanctuary at the club where she hangs out. We did a cam show there, and
But
I was
when
like,
your
"Well, that
sweetie
went well."
texted me at AVN going, "Hey, we're gonna do this thing for his birthday," and I felt really bad that I wasn't able to and stuff. That's when we were trying to interact more.
There you
I
go.
remember
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm once again happy to, help with this connection with alcohol and microphones.
Well, we're polyamorous people, and I certainly would never, ever presume to take her off the market in any way whatsoever. But for the record, fuck with Cupcake and face my wrath. So I'm going to put that on my FetLife.
He has henchmen, people. Don't do it.
I have one henchman. He's a trucker in Nevada. I've got my
Henchmen.
own skill set. I got my own skill sets, and I have a backyard and a shovel.
Get him, Daddy, get him.
Oh, shit.
Right? Because she's amazing.
Oh, goodness.
You guys don't understand. Go to anywhere. Go to Clips for Sale and search for Cupcake Sinclair. Find her on what is your social media? Is it Cupcakes and Cum? I don't know.
It's not that part of the show yet.
Oh, is it too early for that?
Like,
Yeah, it's a little too early for the social media
Keep
plugs.
going. I'm just saying, she's awesome. Find her and do her thing.
We'll definitely do that, but you're just making more work for me in post.
I've been drinking a little.
I've been drinking.
You put down a close
Wait.
to not quite half of that bottle, but you've been doing your work.
People have been drinking and now we drink.
On the show entitled
Wow, what a
ANWD.
concept.
Nobody would believe it.
Drunk in love all night.
I'm happy to facilitate this. Like it warms the cockles of my heart.
I will admit, it was a teeny tiny little goal of mine tonight. Should the opportunity arise, I was going to mention, we don't have a FetLife status, you and I want one.
You're so sweet.
I care about you very much. I know I occasionally put things through your body and do damage to you.
Oh, no.
But I do care about you very much.
Whatever shall I do?
Allow him to do it again.
Hey, in the words of Marilyn Manson, mutilation is the most sincere form of flattery. So
I thought it was fucking in public restrooms. No? Because we've done that too.
Yeah, that's true.
We did.
Wait, breaks. Let's tell the story. So what public bathroom and when? Come on, let's, the audience want to hear.
They can't go back and arrest us for us now.
Right. The statute of limitations have passed.
Hey, if
so
you
who wants to
speak
tell it?
I'm not speaking it, so that's all I'm saying.
All right. She didn't say nothing. We were at, this was in San Pedro. It was
For
at
the Prop 60 shit? Yeah.
we were at a Cal Ocean meeting.
Which makes it even funnier.
We were at a Cal Ocean meeting to represent the adult industry, saying we oppose this initiative back when the fight was going on, before the best and worst election of the adult industry.
Oh, like, that election went polar opposite how I thought it was going to go.
Oh my God! Sure, we were going to lose Prop 60. No idea what was going to happen to the rest of it.
This is
That
the
was totally bad.
end. Yep.
But anyway, we're at this meeting, and we said our piece, and Cupcake gets nervous. At that time especially, she gets really nervous.
I have extreme social anxiety issues. I'm able to play it off in smaller groups, but like it really gets to me. Like,
So I was there.
Well, we're
holding
happy
her
you were
hand.
able to get on mic with us tonight.
I was holding her hand, and we were, I'm watching out for my baby girl. And on the way back to our car, we're still on like county property, like they're like wherever they hold their meetings. And there's a bathroom, there's a public bathroom, like a standalone outhouse. And she's like, "Can we go in there for a second?" Sure. And fuck it, we went in there and knocked one out. And I guess, did you just pull your panties up and keep that load till you got home?
I mean, it was like, what, 2-hour drive?
I don't know how graphic you want to go here, but
Oh, as graphic as you want to go.
we were tested, so there was not a lot of barrier protection involved. Which is funny for a Prop 60 meeting that we did also.
Well, you're just proving why they don't need it.
There was no camera, it's just, we knocked it out, and then we like opened the door. It's like a park. There's like kids in a playground. Like, I hope nobody's noticing that we're leaving this bathroom together.
Hey, but in our defense, you were like holding your hand over my mouth, so like nobody
I did
was
try to reduce the
not
sound.
consensually being involved with anything. You know what I mean? We were relatively quiet.
And
We
in-
just held up the bathroom for a good 20 minutes.
And in my defense, Cupcake says want to fuck. There's only one answer.
Maybe?
So yeah, we
The
did
answer's maybe. Maybe?
That's not the answer.
I'm a very picky fucker. Like for me, like play and being bloody and shit is like my main whatever and stuff like that. So like, I don't know. Like when I'm in the mood, I'm in the mood.
She doesn't fuck
There's
a
nothing
lot.
wrong with that. Shit.
I'm way sluttier than her, but and I'm deeply flattered that I'm one of the few people on the planet that you're attracted to. I think that's really sweet.
Hashtag
So that
gay
happened.
sexual problems.
Hey, I've offered to leave the room for a couple minutes if you guys need it.
We wouldn't ask that, really. Honestly, you could.
You just
We're proper adults.
just trying to properly wingman.
No,
Like,
because somebody's got to focus, and like if we go off screen, you got to turn the camera. So we wouldn't ask you to leave the room.
oh, fine. I mean, I can film that shit, bro.
Take one for the team.
What I'm saying. I feel like we're going to be back on this show at some point.
I hope so. I hope so. We've had a good time tonight. Fuck.
I've had a great time. I'm so glad.
Absolutely.
I just
Good.
wanted to bring Cupcake here. I've talked more than I meant to. I just
free
wanted to bring
booze.
her
I'm
here.
always down. Let's see.
Oh, that's all it took? Jesus, like a $10 bottle of wine.
Great.
This is LA. That's the cost of like a drink at a bar.
I was going to say, in this economy?
Look her to your door for that.
Goodness.
Jesus, I go out to the bar and like, oh, hey, let me buy you a drink. A $15 whiskey. Eh.
In case you're interested. That's not good
Yeah.
odds.
No,
You could go
it's,
to the liquor
Go to
store and just
fetish
buy your
clubs.
own bottle for your own. You know what I mean?
I have a full bar behind you. That's why.
You gotta go to fetish clubs, man. One, there's no drinking, so you don't have to buy anybody a drink.
I'm out.
No. You can show up a little bit toasty.
Yeah, but I gotta maintain.
I'm sure you can find a way.
I mean,
But
I've been known to hide flasks on me.
there to do fun stuff.
Yeah. You know, it's funny.
And
though-
they talk it out.
Yep.
They're like, what do you like? What do you not like? Can you imagine being at a singles bar and being like, let me buy you a drink. By the way, do you like blowjobs? Because if you don't, I'm not buying you this drink.
Dude, seriously, because
We do that.
I've grown up in dungeons before I actually went to like a regular nightclub. So like actually last night was the second time I went to like a regular
A real
bar.
singles bar, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just so weird because I'm like, there's no performances, there's no one bleeding, there's no communication. Like everyone's just awkwardly staring at each other, and like I felt a lot more uncomfortable than I did at my dungeon parties.
Right?
Like that's what I went to when I first turned 18, before I even went to a regular
negotiate so
vanilla
much better.
bar. I just
I was there for your 21st birthday. We went to a karaoke bar.
Yep, that
We
was
sang The
funny.
Time Warp. We sang Rocky Horror Picture
that
Show
shit was
together.
fun.
For your birthday. She's literally, at that point, was less than half my age.
It happens.
No. Wait, because this was 6 years ago. 5 years ago? I can't. Math is not my strong. I'm Generation X. I can't
Hey,
do math.
look, math isn't our strong suit, and we're drunk, and we're
Yeah.
English majors,
But
so like this just
there's a
isn't
good
working
chunk of
out.
time between your birth
As
and
we
my
drink
birth.
more.
As we drink.
Let's have another one.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Clunk.
Here's to not doing math.
This is not Foley. These are the actual glasses dinking together.
This bottle is like, what, 4 of my hands easily.
You're like Ubering or something, right? You're not.
Yeah,
Just
it's
checking.
LA. Who drives in LA? Oh,
Me.
wait, you. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Are we hanging out in the kitchen for another hour?
Go vroom. No, I'm good so far. I'm all right.
Shots then?
Well, we had Annie Cruz here last time, and she can put them down too. I was like,
Oh, I know.
Shit.
That's why-
I'm prepared for you guys.
Like, I did the show already. I know what happens.
I was struggling to keep up with a guy who lives here and doesn't have to drive anywhere. Fuck.
Hey, even when we used to do the show in the Valley, I used to get wrecked. There was very few times where, like, it got so bad that I had to sleep it off on the couch. But it happened a couple times.
No, I don't drive drunk. I value my car too much.
My car knows the way home. Allegedly.
Responsible villain.
Allegedly, my car knows the way home.
Possible. I'm just obsessed with that car. I'm not going to dink it up.
It is a beautiful car.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
It's got
the
a gorgeous
closest.
Firebird.
How do you have a midlife crisis when you do what I do for a living? I already date girls half my age. I already have kinky twisted sex. My dick's all over the internet. What's left? I can't have affairs on my girlfriend. We're polyamorous. I'm out of things. So I got the car of my dreams. That's like the only midlife crisis thing I could do. I'm 45. I'll be 46 in January. 1 month from now, I'll be 46.
Yeah, you are like literally
Just right when you're supposed to.
half and half.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what.
So I got the car of my dreams. It's the only thing I could do. I love my car.
You could do some weird, like, travel. Go to some, exotic.
Come
Love to, but that's not like
Come
midlife
to the
crisis. That's like I have enough money to travel. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you travel and, like, bang weird girls and
Midlife
other.
crisis is leave your wife and shit like that. I'm not. I don't. Nah.
I don't know. Never been married.
No, we don't need midlife crisis. We're doing fine.
Yeah, we're good.
We're doing fine.
We're good.
Yep.
Yep.
I've been engaged once for 48 hours. Not even.
Okay.
Damn.
It was AVN 2014.
Yeah. Was any of that
I'm like,
sober?
you did okay,
No.
bro?
Well, it was with another performer, and it was literally one of those. We ditched the award show. We got drunk. She went, "This is my first trip to Vegas. I should have a quickie wedding." And I went,
Oh my god.
A quickie wedding.
and I could do that. I'm down.
So cute. I love it.
I've told this story multiple
That's a
times on
brilliant
air, so I'm
story.
not going to tell the whole story. But
That's already a beautiful story. It's great.
Yep.
oh yeah, no, nothing like getting a wedding license with a girl you've hung out with twice and banged once, who left me at the altar via text.
Oh.
Closest I ever got was when I was 22 or so. I was dating an 18-year-old, and she missed her period, and I didn't sleep that night.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, shit. But then she had her period, and I was like, okay, fine.
Oh, that's good. Like, otherwise
This
she...
is so pre-porn, though. I was like, this is years.
Otherwise, she would have had to go down a flight of stairs, and it would have been bad. And
No, I was a goody two-shoes. I probably would have fucking married her and ruined my life. It was stupid back then.
well, I'm glad you
I'm
have
better
graduated onto villainy.
I'm better now.
Look, where would we be without that?
Right?
Like,
It never would have happened. The
This
guy you're
interview
talking
would
to
not be
wouldn't have
happening.
The interview would not be happening.
And
God,
so many
that's
people would have
weird.
failed to jack off to the stuff that I provided since then.
Seriously though, you are literally my catalyst into porn. Like, I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't stalked you on Tumblr for like a good 3 months.
me in the first place?
Because I stalked you on Tumblr for 3 months. Like, I don't know what would have happened. I would have
That's
just
so cute.
been doing my pro sub stuff and
I
feeling
thought
weirdly
you were already
unfulfilled
doing-
forever and ever.
I thought you were already doing that by then.
No.
How many gallons of semen would have not been spilled?
You're entirely my fault. I'm so
Yeah.
delighted by
You're
that.
my origin story. I'm like
Aw.
a weird offbeat anti-hero.
This is
superhero.
like, I could retire now. I created Cupcake Sinclair.
Oh goodness. Fucking
Oh my
gracious.
god.
I'm not letting you announce your retirement on my show.
Totally
Yeah,
not
don't do
retiring.
that.
I will be producing from the grave. I'm never quitting.
God, yeah.
The day may come, it is not today.
Good. Good.
The hair's thinning a little bit. At 45, the hair's thinning a little bit. It just means I'll play more riff-raff-like roles and fewer...
Hey, I'll be your magenta.
We totally got this shit. I was saying the day, I remember who I was talking to, somebody online, I was saying, I really want to do the scene from Natural Born Killers
We've
in
talked
the
about
hotel room.
Oh, with the
Where
tying
they're
her
like
up and
making out, and there's a girl tied up at the corner, but
Yep.
you don't know for the first 10 minutes of the scene. I really want to shoot that, and then what happens after?
you want to fuck other people?
Yeah, that whole thing. I want that. I want that scene. And then I want to shoot the scene from Devil's Rejects. Because I look like him kind of anyway. I just have to paste on a goatee and I'm there.
Right.
Part my hair in the middle, I'm there. We got to do the scene in the hotel room where she's sucking him off at gunpoint in front of her husband. I want to do that. I want
God damn it. Now I want to watch Natural Born Killers.
right?
Hey, I was going to say
Saw it in
luckily for
theaters.
you.
Saw it in theaters when it came out.
So did I.
And I'm really old.
No.
Oh, you did too? Okay. Phew.
I snuck into that because I was not old enough to see
I
it.
saw it at the Chinese. I saw it on Hollywood Boulevard.
I lived in Chicago at that point. So we
It's so
bought
good.
we bought tickets for I forgot what the fuck we bought tickets for, but
Just to get in.
just to get in, and then theater hopped into Natural Born Killers
Oh, that's great.
because they were carting people to get into Natural Born Killers.
And he's like, by the power vested in me as God of my world. And we're like, Woody?
Right?
From Cheers?
Because that was like the first Woody Harrelson role where he wasn't fucking Woody.
Where he wasn't Woody. Oh, that was so good.
Oh,
So good.
Oh my god.
written by Tarantino, directed by Oliver Stone. Come on,
It doesn't get better than that.
Robert Downey Jr. Fucking,
He was brilliant.
he's brilliant. Yo,
Speedos and shit.
I know. Michael Madsen, like, oh no, it's Sizemore. It's Sizemore, not Madsen.
Yeah, Tom Sizemore. And we've been drinking a lot. The names are gone now.
I know I've had enough to drink where I'm confusing
Tommy Lee
Sizemore and
Jones.
Madsen.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones, yep.
With his little pliers he was squeezing people's noses with. Would you let me do that to you? Would you let me put pliers on your nose and
You
wire
know
it
what's
shut?
funny is that our next anarchy scene is from American Mary. Have you seen American Mary?
No, I don't have any pop culture.
No clue.
So American Mary is about this young, doctor in training. She's doing her thing at college, and she gets raped by her professor, which
I'm
is
there.
sad because she probably could have fucked her professor anyways without it. But he rapes her, and so of course, obviously, she's pissed. And she goes on to become the world's biggest underground body mod technician, and she uses her professor as her fucking training.
Oh, nice.
thing. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
I would love to play the part of like the helpless whatever and stuff like that.
The first part, not the part where you're having a revenge on me.
No. I mean,
okay.
we could do
Just a
gender
little.
bend thing. We could do a gender bend thing. I could be like the female professor, and you've got like shit going on, and you're using me. Whatever.
All right.
It happens.
Medical student in the world of underground surgeries. Yeah, okay. I'm going to look this up.
Okay.
Are we checking the reviews of it?
It's a great movie,
don't
though.
care
You
about the
should seriously
reviews.
watch it. Like,
Can
just
I
in
Netflix
general,
it
I
is my
think you would
question.
like it. It's called American Mary. It's
All right.
so good.
I got that bookmarked. I'll take it out.
who was it? The hostess of Anarchy. She was trying to figure out what we were going to do as our theme for February, and she's like, "Okay, Cupcake, you're our main anarchist. Like most of the shows revolve around you. So what the fuck are we gonna do?" She's like, "We've got American Mary, we've got Hostel, or we've got Saw." And I was like, "Okay, don't make me choose between all three."
Hostel and Saw, whatever.
The flashlight just
They're
went
so
off, and I was like,
amateur.
"Wait, shit."
I might have snuck one in.
I wasn't ready.
I know, it's supposed to be candid.
The bright light doesn't make it candid, though.
What did you think of, did you watch the most recent American Horror Story, the Roanoke?
I haven't been following it, but I heard there was some pseudo suspension in there that everyone was upset about.
No, the Roanoke stuff was brilliant.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I'm always a season behind because I turned off my cable years ago. I just watch shit on Netflix now.
Same.
I'm set in Roanoke, Virginia, and it's fucking badass. Because I was losing confidence after the last two seasons. Like, I don't know about the show anymore.
Yeah.
But this one was fucking badass. You should watch it. You'll love it.
Nice. I follow a couple of the body mod groups on Facebook, and so everybody who's keeping up with the current one was like, "Oh yeah, there's a body suspension thing in there, and it just kind of sucks because apparently they use prosthetics instead of like a real person, so it looks super fucking cheesy."
It's fucking Hollywood. What do you expect?
Right?
But you know what's funny is that the average hip suspension is only $200, so the amount that they probably spent on prosthetics was like way
more. But they don't know any better.
Of course,
let it
of
go.
course.
It's fine.
Anyways,
They
so
don't
that's
do what
the
we do.
only thing that I've been keeping tabs on for American.
They don't
Horror
do what we
Story.
do.
Anyways.
No. It's all good. It's all good.
Super snobby. I'm like, they could have gone to the best.
Every now and then, I think, why didn't Criminal Minds ever hire me to do their rigging? Because that bondage is terrible. Every now and then, I think that.
Should have reached out to somebody.
I'm available. I'm not expensive.
Look, if only they did.
Especially by mainstream standards.
Right?
Holy shit, mainstream money.
I'm going to tell you right now. My non-sex rate for just tying girls up and beating them on camera or just tying them up off camera and letting you beat them is $50 an hour. That's all.
It's nothing.
Nothing. If there's sex involved, I charge $100 an hour. Still nothing.
Nothing.
Especially for mainstream, yeah, it's nothing.
Nothing. I'm a really cheap villain. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap, just like they say.
For fuck's sake, the Teamster who drives people around on set on a mainstream
Way more than me.
makes more than that.
Way more than that. Porn, there's not a lot of money in porn. We make it look like there is. There's not. We shop in thrift stores.
Yep.
We get shit and we bedazzle it.
We make people bring their own fucking costumes to set.
Yeah, right.
The last two non-sex roles I've done, I brought my own costuming.
I always bring my own. These gloves are my villain gloves. I wear them all the time. Nobody brings me stuff.
On that note, it is actually about that time.
Oh, are we done here?
I mean, we don't have to be. We could keep going, but
I feel like we should come back and do some.
definitely. But it is last call.
All right, last call.
So, Tim Woodman, Pro Villain, where can we find you on the internets?
Well, all you have to do is spell it right. If you're, and nobody can. Nobody can spell fucking villain. It's a real
couldn't
word.
for the first couple of years.
A-I-N, not billion. Billion is not a word. Nobody can spell it right.
It's like weird Victorian spelling.
If you're on Twitter, if you're on Tumblr, if you're on FetLife, I am Pro Villain. If you want to just find my website, it is Pro Villain. It's not fucking
.com, .org,
.com.
yo, .biz, .tv.
Just .com.
.org would be super fucking funny. That's
I'm
all
sure they're
saying.
all available. There's like one motor. There's like a dirt bike that's called the Pro Villain. That's the only other thing in the world that's called.
You definitely should buy provillain.org.
I suppose, but I'm not an org.
You should be.
So,
Once you have enough henchmen, you're an org.
Occasionally an org, but I'm not an org. Anyway, Pro Villain, all those places. Come find me. I got free samples on my site. I post free stuff. If you want to buy stuff,
Kill his bandwidth.
Kill my bandwidth.
Cupcake, where can the audience find you?
I post most of my advertisements on Twitter at subby_cupcake, so SUBBIE_cupcake. And if you want to see some torture porn and stuff featuring Villain and I, because that's our specialty as declared by me, submissive_cupcake at yahoo.com. It's that easy.
Nice. Instagram, any other stuff, or is that it?
That's about it. Everything else is just pretty boring. Twitter is where you want to find me at.
Fair enough. As always, you can find me at Matt_Slayer on Twitter, Matt Slayer on Instagram, Matt Slayer on Facebook.
F and Slayer.
For whatever reason, Matt Slayer was fucking taken on fucking Facebook. Fuck them.
Lame.
Fuck that.
Matt Slayer on Snapchat. You can find the podcast at And Now We Drink on Facebook. And Now We Drink _ on Instagram. And at Now We Drink on Twitter. Till next time, drinking buddies. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.